week on Humpcast, does the Aladdin trailer make you feel better or still blue? New trailers for some young kids cussing. The world is starting to hate Michael Jackson, and rich celebrities are getting ousted for bribing people? Is that what they do? Okay, whatever. You're listening to Humpcast. Welcome to Humpcast, everybody, the show where a couple of buds get buzzed and can drink beers for days, especially if they taste like a lemon cream haze. My name is Garrett Lee.
I'm Randy.
And today, we have a very special guest, Mr. Jeremy Northwood.
How's it going, guys?
What up, motherfucker?
Why are the sound effects so low? There you go.
Yeah, I turned it back up for really good. There we go.
That's an introduction.
Exactly.
Ah!
No, that's strictly for Ryan. There we go. All right, welcome back, Jeremy. We'll get this.
How's it going, guys?
So for those of you who have followed the show for a little bit, he is a returning guest. I don't know. You were keeping score, not I don't know, but like you are one of our most frequent guests.
You know what?
Guest on podcast.
Shit, man. I thought I was doing pretty good until the end of last year when I got really busy. So
Yeah.
Jeremy
wasn't able to come on.
Humpcast a lot.
All right.
Jeremy. How long have you gotten that your whole life?
Oh
haven't
yeah,
you?
ever since high school. Ever since high school.
I mean, why? I mean, how can you not? You know,
Yeah, exactly.
the song was so fucking big.
God,
Yeah.
that song came out, I think, when I was a fucking freshman, maybe 8th grade or something.
Oh,
so
man, you're fucking old, dude.
yeah, no shit.
Jeremy's old ass fucking nerd.
Yeah. All right. Well, for those who don't know, Jeremy, you are a home brewer. Is that correct?
That is
what's
correct,
up?
sir.
What?
Oh, you said what's up?
Oh yeah.
Not much.
What's up?
You have
Not
some,
much, just,
some treats right here. So we start off every episode with an alcoholic beverage of some sort, and today's no different. But except for the fact that you brought us all some stuff.
Well,
What's in these bottles, brah?
what we have in front of us right now is a rye double IPA that I made for Ryan D.
Rye, is that for this guy?
That's for this guy.
What?
It's called Ryan D IPA.
I need to get a picture of that when you pour it.
Oh, you got it, man.
Well, if there's anything I know about Ryan and myself is that
I like beer. I like beer.
That's a great drop, dude.
it is my favorite. That was probably the one that I looked for the longest because it's not clipped out anywhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
nice.
gotta find like the NBC clips.
No, and then it's a long clip too, so I had to
Yeah.
like go through the entire thing and like nope.
Oh, shit.
I knew what I was looking for. I wanted
Did some
it.
real producer work there.
I did, right?
Nice and time consuming.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, it's okay because
I like beer. I like beer.
Well, that's a damn good thing.
yeah.
So what I have sitting in front of us right now is rye double IPA that I made around September or October of last year. In fact, actually, all the beers that I brought in tonight were made last year.
Okay.
About the end of the year.
And we're in
I
March
made
right
them
now.
a couple months like after the last time I was on the show.
Well, this
and
is
stuff,
just in
so-
time for my birthday, so I thank you.
Hey, no problem.
Hey.
I'm just glad that it was ready, and after all the shit I
It's
went
been a
through
while.
with this particular one,
Been a
holy
while
crap.
Since I could taste Jeremy beer.
Because you told me you were doing this like a long time ago.
Yeah,
So did it take this long to have it ready, or?
Well, I was planning it most of the year last year, coming up with the recipe, just getting that dialed in. Then I actually made the beer. It took at least 2 months to finally get done, like done. Then I had to let it sit and condition since it's 8.2, and I didn't want it to taste too harsh.
Okay.
Well, what happened was
8.2. God damn.
Yeah,
That's a
I forgot to
rye
put
double IPA.
I forgot to put finings in this beer, and rye is a very hazy.
Say the first thing you said, findings?
Finings,
What's
yeah. Basically, it's like you can use what's called Irish moss or isinglass, which is made out of fish bladder. What it does is it's a substance, or you can use like something called polyclare, which is plastic, small beads plastic. What it does is it actually will attract proteins, yeast, hot particles, all kinds of shit like that, and will make it coagulate and will drop out of the beer, so that way you get clearer beer instead of getting a hazy beer. This, unfortunately, I forgot to put the findings in, so I had to wait for it to
it's hazy?
clear. No, it's not anymore.
So you waited.
I had to wait for it to
So it's
clear.
like Ryan is just full of shit.
Yeah.
Got it.
No, what happened was but then what I did was I put it in the refrigerator for, a month or so to let it clear as much as possible. It was still hazy, so what I had to do was I had to add, take it out,
hang on. I
add
have a question.
gelatin.
Why aren't we drinking it while you're talking about it?
That's a good question.
That is a good
great
question.
question.
That is
Best
a very
question
good
he's had in
question.
this entire show.
All right, so let me have your glass. Basically, I ended up having to add some gelatin to get it clear, and we are now left with a clear
is
beer.
that a common thing? Adding gelatin?
Some people do will add it. Some breweries and such. It's not the most common thing, but if you really need to get a very clear beer quickly,
Yeah.
it will work.
Mm.
But it's not like when you make like Jello. It's not at all like that because you're not heating up the shit. You're not getting it to coagulate and stuff the way
put the
same
Jello
way.
in the beer like the roof is the
Am I tripping? Is somebody knocking?
I don't know. You're the only one that would be expecting someone, and they have a phone. Knocking would be a bad idea.
It was somebody
you.
knocking. Ooh. Oh, that one's way fuller than
If
I
only
thought.
we had phones. To Dad.
All right. Let's get this.
Everyone welcome
There.
Bicky's voice. Bicky's voice.
Hello.
Hi.
Everyone, welcome Vicky's voice in the background.
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Yeah,
Good seeing you
baby.
too.
All right,
Okay.
here.
All
let me
right,
see
now-
the.
now
Let me,
it's-
Yeah.
yeah.
let me see
Here
the
you
jug.
go.
Yug.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
gentlemen.
Now you can continue talking about the beer that we are now drinking.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right.
Here we go. Here
Hope
we
you
go.
guys like it.
Oh, I'm so excited.
You said it's
Ooh, that's so heavy malt.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So front malt.
not what you would expect from
Malt
any sort
forward.
It's an IPA,
Sorry.
a double IPA, right?
Well,
I
I was
love it.
trying to
Oh my
make a rye, and I was trying to make a double IPA, but it turned into something else. So
Yeah, it's
now
more like a.
There's almost no hoppy.
What is that? It's more what would it? I mean, because it's still, it's more just like a pale ale, right? Like, but
No, it's actually
don't even know how to
it's still
describe this.
considered
It's
a
still
double
considered a
IPA
double
because
IPA.
of the amount of malt hops and the amount of alcohol that's in it.
I'm very. My mouth is
tastes
confused
like
by
a,
it.
tastes almost like a lager though.
Yeah.
Almost. It's got
Almost.
it's got a smoothness for sure, and that's because it was cold conditioned for quite a while now.
I'm so
It's
confused.
been sitting in the freaking keg for months and months now.
Okay, so you have definitely malty tones. You have a little bit of bitterness from not bitterness, but I want like, what's a better word for it that I'm getting from the
No,
rye?
it's bitterness.
Bitter.
Yeah,
Sure.
you're definitely
But it's not-
you're
it's not the-
definitely
it's
going
not
to
the same
get
that you would
bitter
get
and
from-
spicy from the
Yeah,
rye.
but not like hot bitterness.
Yeah.
where it's like
Yeah, but
piney
doing it for the gram.
and herbal.
Yeah.
This one's much more. It tastes like you have like rye seeds in your mouth. You just like crunching on them a little
Yep.
bit. So it's not bad. And then it finishes super smooth. Like that's what he was saying, where it's almost like a lager. Where I'm like, are you sure this is an IPA? It
Yep.
does not have any lingeringness except for that rye, just the rye clean bitterness that you would get. I would say.
But it does, it's. I could feel like the slight like alcohol burn from anything over 8. Like you kind of feel it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
kinda
yeah. You
go-
get that
go down.
slight,
Yeah, pussies,
that
dude.
little bit, yeah. This one, what I really like about this one, because of the malt forwardness, because of the amount, I put so much rye. I think the grain bill on this, and anybody out there who knows what a grain bill is,
like a duck
it's
bill.
about 61% rye on the grain bill, and then the rest is barley.
If you kick it up to 66.6, Ryan would be very happy. But
That is a really
he doesn't pay
freaking-
attention whenever I say
That's
things.
kind of
I heard you.
No,
That's
that's kind
a
of
good
a
one.
that's
Thank you.
yeah, that's actually kind of a really good idea.
Sorry, I got really
but
distracted.
that's
Stop
why
it.
you're
Put
getting
your
so
phone
much
down.
the spice.
I'm posting a picture on my because I'm happy.
I hate it when
Hey,
you're happy.
better when he's happy, I guess. The great thing about this is the fruitiness that you get from the rye. There's a slight fruitiness going on with it, and that's all rye malt. That's not from the hops.
It's
not
all
from-
right.
See, you do the same thing I do.
Wah.
You just are way more proud of yours.
Mine are better, dude.
They are not.
Mine are just better,
Not
dude.
inherently. I will say I've had bad ones, but
So how you been, Jeremy? Besides,
yeah, dude. I
besides,
feel like you just vanish sometimes. You're
besides
like,
being in the crypt,
You're
the
like,
brewer from the crypt.
I'm gonna make a beer, and then I don't see you for 3 months.
Well, I felt bad. I really did. These past couple months have been super busy, as you said. You've been really busy too. So I know
it's
you.
just
I know you've been trying to
work's
invite
been
me to come over and
screwed.
hang out and stuff, and try the new beer. But we just been. I mean, it's been so
Beers?
hectic.
Well, you
'Cause
went out
this
of
is-
town and shit like
Yeah,
that.
exactly,
So
yeah.
that doesn't help.
And then I wound up in the hospital.
Oh, well, then there's always that, too. Oh,
Fucking
shit.
Ryan always trying to go to the hospital. It's
No,
his
I've been okay. Just
favorite place to go.
Yeah,
mostly it's just been, like, work, getting through the holidays, and then we've just been a little bit busier than we normally have and short-staffed, so it's just trying to play catch-up, and
Talking
it's
about
just
making them
taking a little
sausages,
bit
right?
longer.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, seriously, sausages, meat cuts. We have to catch up on everything. I mean, we go from a huge cooler full of shit to pretty much absolutely empty by the time New Year's is done with. So,
Really?
oh yeah,
That much?
tons,
Oh my god.
tons. During Christmas, we'll make about 3,000 two of those. So almost 6,000 pounds of sausage. Almost every day.
Sounds so funny. It's like you can't talk about sausage
Oh,
without
we're-
it
yeah.
sounding like
We're children. I had a 17-year-old say that she was more mature than I was the other day, and I was like,
probably true.
"You're not
Yeah,
wrong,
probably.
but you're not. You're kind of a dick for saying it."
My job is the perfect place for somebody like me. I could.
'Cause you're-
The
you-
double entendres are everywhere.
Yeah, that's where. I mean, it's
I
double
spend
up-
my day boning
They're
butts
so
to
fun.
make sausage. I bone butts to make sausage.
I mean, usually it's the other way.
Yeah. Hey, it's 2019, bro. There's no judgment. You can do whatever you want to do.
Anybody can be anything.
Yeah.
I forget what comment.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
I think it's Felipe Esparza. He said he was talking about how he hates the ends of hot dogs because they look like assholes.
I've never thought of that.
That's so true though. Holy shit.
So
like
when he has
little-
hot dogs,
little
he
cat
cuts
butts.
the ends off.
Ends off.
He's like, because I hate feeling like he's like it's like I'm biting into a wiener with an asshole.
You know
That
what?
is funny.
Thinking about it, now it's like the Audi version, like an Audi version of a butthole.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like a fucking Audi cat butt.
Ugh,
Oh, that's gross.
that's so disgusting.
Yeah, think about that next time you're licking a fucking hot dog.
Staring at those pink starfishes when they walk by.
I just saw Vicky's comment. It's hilarious.
What is moose soup?
Well, if you listen to any podcast ever, you'd understand.
That makes no sense.
Yeah,
It's not. It's from your mom's house podcast.
Okay,
I've been telling you to listen to it for years.
I have. Not every episode, apparently.
It's pretty funny. It's
Whatever
just
that's
it's
from.
like a reference from.
Okay.
They have a sound drop where it's like some lady. She's like, "Come down later for moose soup," and it's just it just caught like fire. Everyone says like that. You guys, and she's like, "You guys are doing good. Come down for moose soup."
All right,
It's like so random, but it's such a random clip that they play.
moose soup or
yeah, I literally meant I was gonna get some new drops today, but then literally every time I went and sat down, something new popped up and I had to go take care of it. But next week we'll definitely have some more drops. Also, good transition. If you're gonna be in the Van Nuys or LA area, come check us out at the Workaholics House this Saturday for a live Humpcast
Yay!
event. What? All the info is on our page and of course mine and Ryan's page. But we're gonna be at the Workaholics House, and we're gonna be podcasting live, and that's gonna be the episode that's gonna be up Wednesday for you audio listeners.
Yes.
And we'll be back to our normal video schedule the following week. But,
Yeah, we'll be live streaming as well. Multicam live streaming.
Oh,
Nice.
Just like you crazy motherfuckers out there, you really like that multicam shit.
Dang.
Multiple angles.
Multicam.
Yeah.
Multicam.
It is just like such.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It is good. I'm gonna get some better ones later, though.
It's the French.
It is the French. Oh. All right.
So this isn't the only beer. I also was working on a few other beers, so it hasn't just been all work
This
and
was
shit.
a good
so.
way to kick my pants in the first. What the fuck am I saying?
I don't know.
To kick start my night. I don't know what I was trying to say.
Hey,
Beverly Hills Polo Club.
the bus sucks.
Yeah, dude. Fuck
So
you.
here you go. Something to at least help you with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like him.
Bam.
Yeah,
Thank you.
He rides the bus. Good
Another
job.
one rides the bus.
Saving the environment and shit, Ryan.
I ride the train as well, guys.
I'm a
So I got this shirt.
busted train.
Beverly
on
Hills
you.
Polo Club.
Oh,
Nice.
I don't know if you notice how fucking red this thing got.
Yeah, it is.
It went from like brown to red.
It's very
Yeah.
red.
It's got still's got some slight brownish red
like
to
a-
it, but
is
it's
it like
more
a-
red than anything.
that-
Double rye red IPA.
No, it's just Ryan D.
Right.
Sound- it sounds like Scooby Doo trying to say it.
What? double red IPA.
Rubber red.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, that petered out real
Yeah,
quick.
it did. It
No,
did.
I'm feeling
Wow.
it. I'm already feeling
That
it.
went out like a
dude.
cigarette in the wind.
Feels
This is
good.
This is really good, man. And I thank you for the early birthday present.
Oh, no problem, man. I enjoyed making. This is actually one of my new favorite beers that I'm gonna definitely start brewing
I love it.
on a little bit more of a regular basis.
Yeah.
Because I love the fucking maltiness on this. Like, I'm usually the hoppy guy,
Yeah.
love IPAs, etc.
But
But man,
I'm
oh
loving the more hop
man.
forward stuff these days. I mean, malt forward stuff.
Malt forward,
these
yes.
days,
Still not into the hoppy. I'm much more about the juices.
Yeah.
There's one beer that I'm on a mission to try and find in can form. I found it on tap, but I don't know if they still have it. But it's
What's that?
from Modern Times called the Avatar of Might. It is a juicy,
The Avatar of Might.
Really?
juicy hazy IPA. And it
What about
is
the Orderville?
My
You don't,
my fucking most favorite beer I've ever had.
have you had the Orderville from
Yeah.
Modern Times?
No,
Or-
like Modern Times makes really good beer.
The Order-
They might be
Order-
my
That
Favorite
one
favorite.
sounds familiar. I almost want
Which
to
one?
say
The
I've had it.
Orderville?
Yeah.
It's the most common hazy
Yeah.
that you can
They
get
have
on
really
tap.
good ones. Like Modern Times might be my new favorite one, just because every Modern Times beer I've had, I like for what it is. Like
I have to admit, they've got some really good ones. I just had I can't remember the name of it. It's one of their newest limited releases, just within the last couple of months. I had it over at Rose City Pizza in Rosemead.
I can go for some fucking
Fucking
al pastor
good.
pizza
It
right
was
now from
really
Rose City.
good. Like
Oh, that's
super
right. They
fruity.
fucking
Dude,
that's right. That
dude.
shit is bomb.
Okay,
It's like
It
the
is.
best goddamn pizza I've ever gotten from them was half al pastor pizza, and the other half was their space cowboy pizza. It's got like
Space Cowboy.
it's got like chili
Sounds like
and
like a porno.
you know those
Yeah.
fucking those crunchy onions and shit like that
Oh,
on it.
yeah. I love that
So
shit.
fucking.
It's the
good.
only way I'll eat onions. Like
Holy
I don't
shit.
like raw onions,
Yeah.
but like, dude, deep fry anything, I'll eat it.
Oh yeah.
We should put that to the test. Like, what's your most favorite, or most hated foods besides onions?
Brussels sprouts.
Didn't you eat? An
Oh,
onion?
deep fried Brussels sprouts are awesome.
I don't.
You
like
don't like
Brussels
Brussels sprouts?
Fucking hate
So
Brussels sprouts.
good.
Yeah,
They
I love
taste like
Brussels sprouts.
they taste like mini cabbages.
Yeah.
They just
if
taste
you
like
make them
little
the right
tiny.
way, they're really good.
Hey, I
Little
hated
balsamic
I
and
ha-
pancetta, bro.
dude.
Bro.
I hate
Bro.
beets.
Take it easy.
Bro.
I
don't-
absolutely
Bro.
hate beets, but my roommate
I like beets.
made roasted beets. Just roasted
love
them in the oven.
Yeah.
I hate them. They're fucking gross
I
as
love
shit.
every form of beet I've ever
But
had.
roasted beets and
Battlestar
oven roasted
Galactica.
beets are fucking delicious.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
figure. Fucking.
Ooh.
I don't
Have
know.
you ever-
Wait.
have
weird,
you ever made a beer
man.
with beet sugar?
Babe, what food do I hate?
Oh, beet sugar actually will ferment cleanly, and
don't
you'll
hate
get a very light-bodied beer. In fact, beet sugar is it's almost identical to cane sugar as far as like it's sucrose. Molecularly, it's the exact same. I even looked up like fructose and maltose and shit, and pretty much every sugar is the same. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple of compounds here and there that are different, but I can't find a formula that's completely different from fructose, sucrose, which is beet sugar or cane sugar. Maltose, which is malt sugar. Fructose is fruit sugar.
I've just gone cross-eyed.
But no,
this science stuff.
The thing about beet sugar,
toast.
If you brew with beet sugar instead of cane sugar, beet sugar will actually give you a cleaner fermented flavor. Whereas cane sugar, if you add too much cane sugar to something to like boost your alcohol, lower your the body of your beer to make it a little thinner.
Have you used beet sugar before?
I've never used beet sugar. But I do know that beet sugar, I've tried beet sugar. I've just never used it. I've never had a chance to try. No. Beet sugar is actually...
What if you use actual beets, though?
Beets will absolutely change the color, for sure.
That'd be a pretty cool trick.
No, absolutely, because that's a beautiful color.
Here's the problem with that is the flavor. You will get the beet flavor.
Flavor.
The only way that you could get...
dirt. Tastes like dirt.
Yeah, that shitty,
soil,
rooty... soil fucking...
I'm going to look into it, because there's
the
a combination
It's the catfish of root vegetables.
Yeah.
I shit you not.
I like catfish.
Yeah.
I love catfish too. I just think catfish tastes like where it came from, the mud. Freshwater mud.
Muddy mud skipper.
Exactly. No, beet sugar, it won't leave a cidery, like, you know how cider has that certain kind of almost champagne-like taste where it's a little vomitous.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It tastes a little bit
well,
like
that cidery,
vomit.
that cidery flavor is what cane sugar will do to your beer, but beet sugar will actually not leave cidery flavors in your beer.
Make dirt flavors.
Yeah.
Well, the beet sugar is it's processed down to just a refined cane sugar. In fact, actually, I believe it's beet sugar or something like that that's grown down in like Brazil or something like that, and they've used it as biofuel or something.
It's strange because I heard it in a song once that we got them.
You couldn't even say
no,
it. I couldn't even
no,
get through that one.
No, the Go-Go's got the beat.
Yeah, right. Okay. Sorry.
Oh my god. That's Ryan's worst joke he said.
Ryan, I've seen Ryan stand up, and this was bad.
Yeah.
You're better than that.
I couldn't even get
You
through
are
that
better.
one. I couldn't even get it hurt it hurt to say.
That was like
There's
the
a
worst.
song I heard that we got
The worst dad joke ever.
beats. Yeah.
I love it.
All right.
Wait, were you going for the Go-Go's?
Yes.
Okay, because the way he said it right now was almost the way H. John Benjamin does. We got the meats on Arby's.
Oh yeah.
No, for sandwiches.
Ryan,
No, I said
very.
I was just saying that because I don't know. You kept saying beats, and I was like, oh, it's weird. I just heard in a song that we got the beats.
I think it would have landed so much better if you went straight face and couldn't.
I know, but I couldn't get through it. I couldn't.
Just the fact that you busted up at your own joke before making it. No.
Oh boy.
Yeah. All right, but no, I'm actually kind of interested in that. I want to make a beet beer because I like beets, but I know they should
Beets.
pair with something.
Bears. Beats.
Okay. The only thing about beets is
all right, can we stop saying beets? Jesus Christ.
The only thing we'd have to worry about with that particular root vegetable is that we'd have to find a complementary flavor.
That's what you said.
To mask that rooty
balance.
Mask it.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously there's flavors that people don't like. I don't know.
Hey, that would be one fucking red beer, though.
That's
Holy shit!
And I love the color of beets. At least red, because there's golden beets too.
Okay, what? Yeah,
there are golden beets.
What
actually.
if you were to if you wanted the beet flavor, you go with a golden beet, which is supposed to have a lighter beet flavor, and you use that for your flavor, and then you use a little bit of red beet to actually give you the color.
Red beets.
There
red
you go.
beets. Red beets.
All right, so I think we are done with beets.
Yeah, Ryan is.
Unless
going
we're talking
crazy.
about children.
Well, you know, the only thing that
What?
The only thing that beets make me do.
Yeah, see how that
is-
joke went?
is-
What? I don't get that one.
I mean, have you ever heard beat so much that you just want to turn up?
Turn it up.
Yes.
See, that one worked way better. Here, call your agent. Get a gig.
That was almost that.
That was a good one, dude. I was fucking waiting for a way to put that together.
Nice.
Come on, dude. Come on.
No,
turn up.
I gotta
Turn up.
tell you, you get credit at least on my end.
Come on,
So
bro. That's the greatest joke since fucking
the last one.
Joe Pacino.
All right. Well, how about just
Shut your mouth.
let's go. Let's go.
Hey, what was "Shut the fuck up and let me do my job"? Which one was that one? Where's that from?
Shut the fuck up and let me do my job.
Where's
I
that
don't
from?
even know
Yeah,
where that's from.
fuck.
Actually, it sounded like Tom Cruise at first, but I don't know if that's
Yeah,
that's true.
I don't think it. Yeah,
I
it
think
doesn't
that's
sound
from
like Tom
Goodfellas.
Cruise.
I think it's from Goodfellas.
Let me try.
No.
Now shut the fuck up and let me do my job.
That's not Goodfellas.
No,
No.
that's.
It's not
It's
Goodfellas.
somebody on the
It
phone.
almost sounds
definitely.
like Ray Liotta.
It does sound like Ray Liotta, but it's not.
He's got a higher pitched voice than Ray Liotta does. Because
So when I got all these, I just went down like the rabbit hole of different like things, and I didn't know where they're from. I was like, that sounds good. I'll get that.
I want to look it up now.
Yeah.
no shit.
How are you
like,
gonna do? Well,
You can
good luck.
practically. Well, actually, I've googled quotes and they've come right
Yeah, they
up.
come
so
up.
No, they do.
It's weird.
Now-
Like with
Now
just
shut the fuck up and let me do my job.
Where's that from, dude?
it's that job. The way he
Oh,
says
Tropic Thunder.
job. Is that Tropic Thunder?
That's fucking Tom Cruise.
That's what,
Oh, it is Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Hey, nice.
Boom.
Good job.
yeah.
Good job. You know
Boom.
Tom Cruise.
That's amazing. Well,
inside and out.
what a great actor. He's such a good actor. He's fucking just like unimaginably great in that. That was really hard to get through.
You know what?
Unimaginably great in that.
The only
movie.
other time that I've ever seen somebody do as good with that kind of a character, like just being somebody that they're not, was Justin.
Robert Downey Jr. being a black guy.
Yeah.
No,
That was amazing.
yeah, that was actually
I'm the
funny.
dude playing the dude, acting like another dude.
Disguised as
Disguised
another dude.
Fucking
What's that movie with CIA? No, not CIA. Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart.
intelligence, something intelligence, central
Central
intelligence.
Intelligence.
Dude, actually, that movie's pretty fucking
The
good.
character,
Yes.
I
I
liked
actually
that
really
movie
liked
character
quite
The
a
Rock
bit.
plays.
The character The Rock played was great, but I
And he actually
loved.
did it well. Like, I was
I
like, I can see
really
that, yeah.
thought that Justin Bateman, as the Scientology asshole head of that head
Oh, yeah,
company,
yeah, yeah.
or
I don't know who that is. Justin
whatever.
Bateman?
Jason,
you know,
Bateman?
Jason Bateman.
Oh,
Why
okay.
did I say? Because his sister Justine, Jason Bateman, dude,
Yeah.
his fucking character was funny in that. Like
I don't remember that.
when he
yes,
when
I
he
do,
was
yeah,
doing
yeah.
the whole apology thing because he found Christ, and then he said, "Fuck you, you idiots! I'm a Scientologist and
Yeah,
shit."
yeah.
They ended up cutting it out in the television version. The whole,
Oh,
you know,
of
saying
course,
he's a
yeah.
Scientology, but it was fucking funny, and
I
the
don't
way
know,
he delivered
It's
it
weird
was
that
so
stands
funny.
out to you. That whole movie for me, the Rock stands out because it's like he's such a dorky dude.
Yeah.
It's like he usually plays like cool guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's
No,
what, okay,
no,
so
that's
actually
that
why I
part
like this
stands
one.
out because
And,
of the
Jumanji.
Yeah.
But no, the reason why I'm saying that his Jason Bateman's character in
I
that,
don't remember his character.
for
in that
some
movie.
reason,
either.
his asshole character kind of reminds me of Tom Cruise's character
I see
from
what you mean.
Tropic
Yeah,
Thunder.
yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
Like the way they were able to do their character
yeah.
so well
Yeah.
that you forget that it's them.
Gotcha.
That's all.
Gotcha.
Okay.
You, you're like just like in Simple Jack, you know.
What?
You know,
I've never
Did you
seen
read
that.
that Sean White like got in trouble when he dressed up as Simple Jack for a
I saw
Halloween
that.
party?
That's hilarious, dude.
I
don't
agree.
I don't give a fuck what anybody.
In all honesty,
You know
'cause
what's annoying?
It's not making fun of the. It's a character from
Sim-
a movie.
Yeah.
Simple Jack. Simple
Which is
Jack was
a
the.
satire,
It was a character that. It was the character, the retarded character that.
Which he got in trouble for playing.
That
which
Ben
is why
Stiller
it's funny.
plays in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Remember, he's the actor.
Yeah, he's the one that. Yeah,
It's like his Forrest Gump, right?
yeah.
So Shaun White dressed
Because he's
up
always playing the same fucking character.
right.
in
So
every
that was
movie.
his Forrest Gump. Yeah. So you remember that character, right?
Yeah.
Please don't hurt me.
Yeah. So he got in trouble for that.
So Shaun White got in trouble for dressing up as Simple Jack.
For
It's
Halloween.
so stupid.
Or like
It's
just some people
Halloween.
came down on him or whatever. It's the PC police.
Yeah,
Typical.
Not a single person said
damn
anything
it.
about Robert
Downey Jr.
Oh.
being black. No one.
Oh, man.
It's so funny because you know that guy Brandon T. Jackson, the dude who plays Al Pacino.
Yeah.
He was on an interview like recently because you know he's doing stand up now. I see that dude all the time, but he was doing a tour. My fucking mic keeps flopping.
If only Ricky bought one more mic stand.
Ricky,
Rest in peace, you bastard.
he was saying that Downey Jr. is kind of he's like he was a method actor. He's also this motherfucker was walking around all day like that. He's like, which was hilarious because it was like he was making fun of himself for being a method. That was like the joke. He's like, but he didn't want to drop the accent, so he'd be talking to people like that on set. And he was, hey, sandwiches. And he's like, so he would talk to me, and he's like, hey, we gotta stick together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
so fucking
God,
funny,
that's
man.
funny. That
Yeah.
that makes his character even better knowing it.
Even
Yeah.
better knowing that he was being method as a method actor being a method actor.
Ah, that's
He's the
so
dude playing
funny.
another dude disguised as another dude. Yeah.
On set.
Damn, but
Damn, that's funny shit.
So funny, and I can't believe how accepting everyone was at that time of what that was.
in all honesty, same. Like at least I didn't hear a lot of backlash.
No
about
one
it.
complained about it. I
Okay,
don't
back
remember
then,
anybody
back
complaining
then there was a little bit of backlash, but
I mean, a little
but there
pushback.
was, but the pushback was only about it's
But
comedy and it's a role.
It was
and this
a
and that.
satirical.
It would never happen within
No
the last
way.
12 years.
No.
You never get that.
I mean, that movie
never
came out
happened.
It came out like 10 years ago now.
Did it?
Fucking almost like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I think it's because I watched it like 2
actually
years
it's. I
ago.
think it's been a little more
Remember
than
for the longest time you were like, you haven't seen Tropic Thunder or something.
wait, you hadn't seen it before?
I've seen it, but like I remember you guys all gave me shit 'cause either I didn't like it or I didn't watch it. I forget which one it was, but I rewatched it probably recently.
Well, it was Tropic Thunder and Hot Rod.
No, I don't.
Wait, Hot Rod?
But you haven't watched it again.
I haven't
No,
seen
I haven't.
Hot Rod.
I'll
then.
watch it again if you can find it.
That movie's
or I can
hilarious.
Watch it, but
I love that movie.
yeah.
Hot Rod, the
Have you
one,
seen it
the
with
one with
Andy Samberg?
Andy Samberg, and he's a stuntman.
Oh, I definitely haven't
Let me
seen
ask you
that
this.
one.
So funny.
No, the
Have you
last one
seen-
I saw was Pop Star.
Have
that
you
was
seen
funny.
Popstar?
Yeah, I didn't like Popstar.
Me neither.
Okay,
I just thought it was. I thought it was in the same vein.
it's not at all.
Like,
It has a way better cast, like with Bill
I like the
Hader and
song,
fucking and what's his name? Fucking Danny McBride is in it too.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh yeah, that was Danny McBride.
who am I gonna make raps for, huh? Who am I gonna? Dude, come on. But anyway,
funny shit.
You know what's funny is Jamie Foxx was on Rogan like not too long ago, and Rogan brought that up. He's like, "What about Robert Downey Jr. playing a black guy?" Like, because they were talking about PC culture and stuff. He goes, man, and like fucking Jamie Foxx goes, man, Downey Jr. did that shit so good, and it was so funny. He's like, he gets a pass. I think. He's like, I think he's like, he he's like, you know what? He's like, he. What did he say? He said he's he. You know what's it called when you get like when he's honorary? He's an honorary brother. That's what he said.
That's pretty good.
That is fucking good. Holy shit.
So this is my favorite part of Popstar. It was literally just a
nice.
song.
I've got it all, and I'm getting more, but I never fall, beat 'em all, 'cause you know I'm so humble.
And that's it. This is the only thing I liked about that movie.
I
Was the song?
thought the
This
whole
is
when he was doing
pretty
the
funny.
it's okay, but I'm not gay. Definitely not gay. I thought that was so funny. The way
Yeah, a couple
the
of
way
the
they
songs,
had
yeah.
him fuck that like completely up
Yeah.
to a point where it would, if it was real life, be a PR disaster. Like
of course.
that was done very well.
I
How
do-
they wrote that.
I think there was a lot like more. It was a topical thing at the time because it was like obviously making fun of Justin Bieber,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
like so obviously. So even
Yeah.
even the parts where he was like partying with his mom and shit, like That was like I feel like that was some shit that was like too on the nose. Maybe I just I don't know.
I can kind of see now that you're bringing it up, like what you're talking about.
I definitely saw it.
It's still funny though.
Saw it.
It wasn't a bad. I mean, it wasn't saying it was stupid.
There
was
was
funny. I thought it was funny.
Okay,
but-
the movie itself was just stupid from beginning to end,
Yeah.
but there were so many parts that were actually individually funny that you can't help but laugh.
You know what it was? I think it was because the fact that it was
I love that this is going in.
the fact that it was trying to be satirical, but it rang so much truth that it kind of just wound up being sad. Almost,
yeah.
Because it wasn't like this isn't funny because this is for real. Like people, there are people exactly like this for real, like in real life.
Like that but when he does the basketball and everybody starts cheering, but he obviously missed. That's that right there.
Let
Like
me
that's
ask you
a
this then.
typical
Do you
yes
think-
man thing.
Do you think it's harder to be satirical now than it was before because of such a there's such a magnifying glass over so
Only-
many people that you realize that these characters that we grew up with are fuck, that's a real person. Like we see all the time on the internet.
Life is
How
im-
are you a real person?
No, because I think you just got to do it right because The Office is definitely a satirical, show. But it's like, but there are
some of it's so over the top.
But
yeah,
every character in there, a person like that.
Yeah.
Or you've seen a person like
All right,
that.
can you name something in the last like 5 years that you really enjoyed that was very satirical for? Like just because I mean The Office was what? How long ago was that when it started?
started,
shit 10 12 years ago,
like 2004. It was
Yeah.
like-
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, it was like early.
Yeah, exactly. And so like I find that I've seen. I will say this though, and it's not really satirical, but it's.
That's a good question. I really got to think
So
about
you
that. Can you,
See,
pass. I'll come
I
back.
know there's like different shows that have shown satire in it for like pop culture and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but like an entire show or a movie or
well,
something.
you know what?
Yeah, that's
You know
a good
what?
question.
What was the American Vandal? That was
American Vandal? Which one?
that was
that?
a pretty funny thing. It was the Dick Bandit. The
Oh, I didn't see that.
it's a Netflix mockumentary
okay.
about a guy who spray painted a bunch of dicks on cars as a senior prank, and so it's like it's kind of loosely based on making a murder, and so they think it's this one guy because he was like a prankster, but he actually didn't do it, but they're all prosecuting this one dude, and so it's a whole it's a series, like a docu-series, and it's called American Vandal, and they did 2 seasons of it. It's pretty funny because it's so obviously making fun of making a murder,
Okay.
but the premise of it was the guy who drew the dicks, and then it was like I saw his dick drawings. He would draw dicks on people's history books all the time, and so they were interviewing all the other
That
kids.
sounds funny.
It's
as
really
fuck.
funny. It's really funny. Yeah, and they're like, who is the Dick Bandit and all this stuff. And so like, it's a really funny show.
Yeah.
Or mockumentary or whatever.
Bring it back to.
I mean, that's kind of a thing.
That
the
sounds really
Dewey
good.
Cox story, was it?
That
Walk
was
Hard?
great, yeah.
that was awesome. But the funny thing is that like it made fun of how biopics about
Rock stars
followed this format, and then literally everything has Bohemian Rhapsody followed the exact same format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and
See,
so like,
Damn. See, not even that.
that's
movie.
still funny.
There is
I
a
recently,
formula.
See, not
recently
even
watched
Let's
it,
Go to
loved it.
Prison would be satire because it is, but it isn't. It's not like on the nose satire and shit. Yeah, shit, man. That's a really good damn question.
So yeah, like I get what you're saying about the whole Justin Bieber thing. I don't know. I'm sure there's like tiny things they could have changed to make it a lot better. Also, it didn't come out until like I think if it had come out now on Netflix, people would love it way more.
Yeah.
It came out in theaters when it looks like it could be a hit Netflix
I agree,
movie.
but I think well, we talked about this before. I think timing of movies, especially with what's going on and in the media and whatnot, really plays a role. So like I feel like around that time everyone hated Justin Bieber. So like it wasn't like
By the way, did he die? Is he alive still?
Justin Bieber.
Justin-
Yeah, I think.
no, yeah, he's just Christian now.
dude. I can't even fucking believe how many fucking in the last 2 months alone.
How many people have died?
Fucking celebrities, and I don't mean the ones that you haven't heard about. I mean just the ones you've heard about. So many fucking people have just been dropping off the fucking face of the earth and shit,
but
and
not dying.
no, dying, and then fucking, and then they just found out that not Muhammad Ali, George Foreman's daughter Frida, she died.
Oh my God.
She died a couple days ago. It was suicide. She suicided
Stuck her
herself
head
at
in a Foreman
42.
grill.
Oh, that's so bad.
I'm sorry, that's so fucked
It
up.
was really easy to clean up.
Non-stick. Too soon?
I'm an ass. I'm going to hell, you guys.
Oh my God.
I couldn't avoid it. It was right there.
Oh my God.
But
mean,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
but
apologize.
not just her. Like just in
That was great.
Serious.
I
That
liked
was
I liked that one. That was
wow.
All right, well, yeah.
It's
Justin Bieber's
just
so
weird.
alive, he
There's
just
so
looks
a
weird.
lot. There's just a lot of
good. I
people
told
that
you
have
he's
just
just,
been
he's
dying.
just like Christian now. So he's married to the Baldwin girl.
That one?
Yeah.
You know what? That's what got fucking Chris Pratt with Schwarzenegger's daughter is being Christian and going to church and
Yes.
living on a farm and
Yeah, that's the same format that he's going
don't
for.
they go to
Good
like
for
the
them.
same church and
Yeah.
shit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he grew a Post Malone mustache.
My God, he did.
That looked horrible.
That is
Post
terrible.
Malone looks like a dude that I fucking give money to for crack.
I would also be friends with Post Malone, it looks like. Like, everything I've seen, he looks like a cool dude that I'd want to hang out with.
But he looks like he smells.
Kinda. Like
Maybe
he's-
like like one of those hippie,
Like-
rich hippie guys.
Yeah, like
that-
he doesn't
yeah.
shower. Like he looks like he doesn't shower.
I don't wear shoes when I
Yeah.
don't have to.
Yeah. And like his furniture is like it's like vintage furniture that smells like dick.
Or mothballs and dick.
Yeah. All right, let's move forward. I brought it. I put it in the.
Wait,
intro.
hold on. I want to go back to what we were talking about. Wait,
No, I was
what's in the
gonna move
intro?
forward as far as beer goes.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Okay.
Yes,
That's
so
why I held up my glass.
Yes, go
all
get
right,
the next beer.
So
Uh,
Ryan, you got to pick the first beer. The Ryan D.
it was fantastic.
So which one
I
would you
love
like to try?
drinking me, as it is my blood. Take this, all of you.
It's as much alcohol as you
I'm
are.
sorry, you could definitely make a funny joke about like. So my friend made a beer about me, and now it's my blood. And then you can bring up the beer and do like a whole
The
Christian
blood of
Jesus
everlasting
thing.
life.
Yeah,
Drink it, my brothers and sisters.
you could totally do a fucking joke like that. I think it would
Through
kill.
him, with him, in him.
If you did a whole sermon like
in the unity
excerpt,
of the Holy Spirit.
and it's just you drinking beer.
Hey,
Almighty God.
Jesus
forever and
Jesus
ever.
turned water into wine. That just means he was he could brew wine.
Yeah.
That's all.
Boom.
Maybe he could brew beer too.
Instantly, yeah. Maybe he could do that. Maybe he just pulled one of the tricks out.
Well, that was Craig's job. Craig Christ. That was his brother.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Gene was the one who did that. Gene, Gene, the half brother of Jesus.
Gene, where's that one from? I'm sorry. I was talking about it. I was making a different reference.
No, I wasn't.
I don't know.
Just
Oh,
You know.
okay.
All right. So-
There's been plenty of jokes throughout comedy history of like Jesus had a brother.
yeah. They did it on
I think
Family
they did it on
Guy.
Mr. Show too. I think.
Oh
they
yeah,
did-
yeah.
And then there's a comic, Stephen Lynch, who has a song called Craig Christ.
Stephen Lynch. That sounds familiar.
He's not very popular anymore, but he had a Comedy Central special that.
Oh, maybe that's
He's
why
a guitar
I just heard
guy.
it.
He played a song. And it was like, something. Anyway.
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
Cool. We're getting off topic.
Okay,
here. What's
so
going on?
beer. Next beer.
cream, hazy,
Lemon.
IPA.
Lemon cream hazy IPA. You got it.
Lemon.
Bring it forth.
Cream. Easy. Beer.
I like beer. I like beer.
Love it. Oh, get one to Vicky too. Did you have enough for Vicky? Yeah. Suck my butt. Yeah. Oh,
I can't play it too long or else
we'll get pulled.
Yeah. It's like, I don't think I can go that long. I don't know.
Well, that's why I was rapping over it.
Boom. Do that one too.
What
That's
the
one of my favorites.
fuck was I gonna say? Oh, okay. So we were talking about satire.
I wanna be the very best.
What? Oh yeah, sure. I mean, there's other. Yeah.
So
I was like-
we,
So what's up?
I posted an article. I don't know if you saw it. How do you feel? Okay, how do you feel? You've always been a Jim Carrey fan, no?
Yeah.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, original one.
Yeah, if you like classics.
Okay. So I posted this article about that some fucking snowflake. I hate that term, but it's the best way to describe
It
these
works.
people.
No, I know. Okay, so it's weird because we are under the category of millennials, but born
of
in
millennials and liberal either.
But that's the
either
thing.
you.
We are
I'm
born,
too old.
At least you and I are born in 1990, which makes it very difficult because we are very much in the middle of.
I call it the
a lot
M
of
word.
things.
I tell people, I'm like, that's my N word, dude. I don't call me that. I don't want to be
snowflake?
blanket.
No,
millennial. I don't want to be like blanketed under.
But we are.
Yeah, I know.
If you follow what most
Supposedly
sites
they're
say.
trying to like find. I don't know, but these are the people who take this shit too seriously. Is that they're
Yeah.
trying to find like a different term for people who were born like between like 80.
Yeah, it's like-
like
what is it?
84 and like 92.
I think it's
you know?
boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z.
Yeah.
I thought there was Gen Y in between somewhere.
I don't know if there's a Gen Y.
That's what they're trying to do, or they're trying to, they're claiming that that's what we are.
Okay.
Huh.
Because you would be
Okay.
Gen X, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually I've
boomer-
had to do a little setting because I thought I had just missed Gen X, but nope, I'm right.
So are you saying Gen X? No, Boomer, Gen X,
So that
Gen
there'd be a
Y,
Gen Y, which is
millennial,
what
Gen
we would
Z.
we would want.
Gen Y would have been after Gen X, and then millennials, and then whatever Gen.
It's like people. It's
Gen
anybody.
Z,
It's
and
anybody.
then the world ends.
It's anybody.
Yeah.
Born, it's anybody born before like 95 or some shit like that.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm trying
yeah.
to say.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, like,
if you were
technically-
born after 95, then you would be what, Z now or something
Well,
like
that's
that.
No,
that's I think that's millennial, isn't
That's
it?
the millennial. So
Oh, is
yeah.
that millennial?
So
Oh, okay.
As 90s, that's where the Y that they're trying.
They're
to
saying
make.
they're millennial. I thought was 88 to 94. Or
No,
something,
that's
95.
that's Gen X still. Gen Y started
Here, I'll look it up.
90,
Look it
up, look it up,
88
look it
to
up.
90, something like that.
It's a good thing we got the internet.
Right?
Yeah, no shit.
We've been arguing about this shit when
Okay,
we have facts. We could
so
look
while
up.
he's looking that up, I'm just going to go
hear
ahead
it.
and open up these bottles real
Do
quick.
it.
Okay, this is the newest. This was brewed December of 2018, just a couple of months ago.
81.
And this is my
Oh, what?
lemon cream hazy IPA. It is a hazy IPA that I put a lot of lemon, vanilla, and
God,
a
it sounds so
hint
good.
of jalapeno. Just a hint of jalapeno.
All
You'll barely
Oh,
taste
good.
anything.
Just a little dick taste.
Just
Just a
just
little
just the
dick
tip.
Just a
Just
little,
the tip.
Just a dick
All right.
kiss.
In 2018, the Los Angeles Times and the Washington Post use 1981 to 1996
See, that's a really big gap
to
though.
define. Yeah. So we were born in the
1981.
90s. Yeah,
No
that is
shit.
actually a huge gap.
That means
Honestly.
that means my younger brother would be a millennial.
Right.
Yeah. 81 to 96 from PBS in 2009, CBS and
Okay,
ABC,
look up the Generation Y then.
Gen Y.
Hmm.
All right. Going back.
Oh yeah, I said I was gonna open these, not just describe
Yeah,
them.
what the
Oops.
fuck, dude? I'm looking to get
Put
fucked
it in my
up. No, I'm
hands.
just kidding.
Gen Y years. Boom, boom. All right. Gen Y, born.
Oh.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. 90 or 77 to
95. That's a huger gap.
Wait, what? Gen Y is 90.
Yeah.
77.
Gen X is 65 to 76, which is a much smaller.
Huh.
gap.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
And
Well,
baby
boomers
boomers are 46 to 64.
so according to that, I'm a Gen Yer.
Yes.
Interesting.
Traditionalist or silent generation born.
So
Oh.
I think it's all just like these publishing companies like making shit up.
Yeah,
you know?
well, I mean,
I've
obviously
seen
these,
different
These are all things
di-
that people make
different
up.
dates and shit. So that's definitely interesting.
The thing is,
anyway, the point was
the word snowflake is like any other, I guess you could say, not racial slur, but any derogatory term, just not meant to sound good.
basically the
No one's using.
It means
Come
you're a
on,
puss-
oh, you're
it
such a
just means you're a
snowflake,
pussy.
and
It
feel
means you're a
good.
pussy, but you can't say pussy anymore, dude.
Yeah, because pussy is sexist and misogynistic and patriarchal.
Right. So that's basically what it is, and
But a pussy with no sense. So push me. Shout out Jay-Z. No, that's one of my favorite songs.
Anyway,
actually.
so I posted this article that somebody put about how Ace Ventura is not funny and does not age well,
Okay.
and did not age well. Yeah.
That seems about right.
And I've shared it. I was like, I was wondering when they were gonna attack this film because I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a huge like transgender joke, and it pretty much like underlined the whole second half of
That
the
was
movie.
the entire thing.
Yeah, yeah, that Finkel is a man.
Oh,
Einhorn
yeah,
and Finkel.
Einhorn.
Finkel and Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
Einhorn is a man. Yeah, and then they play the crying game song.
What-
and
is
shit,
that real?
yeah.
Okay.
Burns his clothes. He
Yeah.
cries in the shower.
Just like in the crying game, yeah.
Yeah.
Like even now, I mean, that's not. It's just that one man's reaction to it. He never actually says like that's a bad thing. He just didn't like it.
Yeah.
Is that a gun in your pocket?
Is that a
He's all eating all the gum.
your gun is digging
Oh,
in.
yeah, you're digging
my
into
gun
his-
is digging into your gun is digging into my hip.
in my hip. That's
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Oh
digging
man.
Oh God.
Well, cheers to that.
Cheers.
This almost tastes like a sour here, buddy.
That's because it's the lemon.
Oh, it
Yeah.
has lemon. Ooh.
Very citric.
That is cool. Okay, so I would actually put that in the border, like you were saying, with the sour, but not. I would not call it a sour.
No,
I
definitely
normally
not.
don't
Because
like
there's
sours,
nothing
yeah, so-
sour. There's nothing. I didn't use an alternative yeast. I didn't use lactobacillus to do this one. The only reason why you would get any kind of sour is from the lemon itself.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's because it's very, very lemon forward.
I do want to. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off about the
No,
beer,
that-
but I do want to talk about this other thing too. Was like, okay, so one of the things brought up too. You've seen Blazing Saddles, right?
Yeah.
Because we're talking about satire and all that stuff, and Mel Brooks is the king of satire.
Yeah.
And it just like we obviously couldn't make a Blazing Saddles today, right?
No.
Like,
No,
one could make it,
gosh,
right?
no,
And
no.
This is something that I've been thinking a lot about, people going back and getting offended and trying to stir up shit about old things. I'm like,
But
you
here's-
want to?
but
What do you
here's-
want to do? Change the past?
But here's the thing about that
Yeah.
movie. Here's the thing about that movie. Is you watch it. If you watch it now, yeah, the N word said a lot,
Yeah.
right? But that's nothing. That's almost like if you're making the argument of Django Unchained,
Yeah.
that's historically correct. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, with how they treated them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the way they talked
And the way they
and
talk.
stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
It takes place in the like the West and
The Wild
that-
Wild West.
And but
Wild Wild West.
but the whole general joke is how silly racism is.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
that whole in that entire
Same
movie.
thing with Blazing Saddles
That's what I'm talking
and
about.
their
That's what I'm talking
that
about.
and the Jewish tropes and stuff
Right.
that was in it as well.
Right,
Yeah,
everything. I mean, they make fun of the Chinese for building the railroads and all that shit. You know,
Yep.
so, I mean, not making fun of them, but they make fun of the idea of it. But I don't know, like those movies, I feel like still stand the test of time, in my opinion.
Absolute-
Because,
yeah.
Because I mean, when you watch it as like a writer's perspective, or like just the fact that it's comedy gold, it's hilarious.
Well, I think okay. So you've
Yep.
seen all of these before. That's one thing to pull them out, and you take them for what they are, for where they came from.
No,
If
I
they-
would still.
I
If
wouldn't-
this movie were to come
yeah.
out now,
Yeah.
I'd still think it was brilliant.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, even
Maybe. I would.
yeah. I mean,
You can make that
even
movie. I'm talking about like Mel Brooks movies are they'll stand the test of time. I really believe that.
History of the World Part 2,
Spaceballs.
fuck Spaceballs. Yeah. I mean, and that wasn't just
Men in
making,
Tights?
and that wasn't making, Men in Tights. That wasn't even making fun of just one movie. That was making fun of several
Every-
pop culture
yeah,
movies.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's as funny, for what it was doing as Leslie Nielsen was doing in all the Naked
and all the
Gun
Naked
movies
Guns,
and
yes.
Police Squad
Yes.
and
Those
shit
movies,
like that. Like
those movies too.
that shit had so much satire in it that. I mean, they were making fun of the stereotypes,
Yes.
which was so great because it took the teeth
So what do you
out
think it
of
is? Do you-
actual racism, homophobia, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. So do you think it's just people don't want to actually even hear the words, or
No.
like even have to face the fact that these things
Nope.
exist?
Well, absolutely not.
No, I am of the personal opinion that basically the PC shit that's going on now is cultural Marxism, and it's the simplest way I can put it because.
Explain for people that don't know.
Well,
Marxist-
basically,
it's
Marxism would like to erase cultural history, just like they did in China,
Sure.
and reinvent history and current history, and,
Yeah, that's a great
and
way to put it.
ignore what it is. Well, that's pretty much what's going on now when people take like movies like Blazing Saddles and they start adding today's idea of what's right and wrong, this whole PC bullshit, and they start applying it to the past. It's the same as attacking our founding fathers and stuff like that.
That's what I was about to say.
The past was the
think-
past, and it was wrong by today's standards, but that's the way it was back then.
Yeah.
But here's
That's it.
Here's where I agree with you about.
We're lucky to be progressive now.
I agree with you about culture, about pop culture and stuff like that. But here's where I kind of disagree about the whole, because that's the argument about taking down the statues of like Confederate soldiers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's the argument, is like we can't rewrite history and act like it didn't happen. And I agree, but do we need to glorify these terrible people? You know what I'm saying? Like these were actual bad guys in history, like rapists, murderers.
Well, those people, you definitely don't want to. But like, and just my opinion as far as like with General Robert E. Lee,
right?
He wasn't a rapist. He wasn't this, and he was fighting for he was fighting for something that wasn't. Oh, well, we want to fight for slavery. It was for most of the grunts, the people who were actually fighting and dying. It was all about their individual state rights and stuff like that.
But
however,
slaves.
Well, actually, no. To be quite honest, only a very small percentage, less than 10% of people in the United States actually at the time owned slaves. It was only the very rich. Most white people back then were not rich, and there's been at least 10 African American figures that have actually been slave owners, and they're documented. They are actually documented and stuff. So, and Don Cheadle, he found out. He went on that "Who Are You" or whatever show, and he found out that his family was they were slaves. He knew that his family were slaves, but they weren't slaves of white plantation. They were slaves of Native American tribe.
Oh wow!
So what it comes down to is everybody screwed everybody in some way or another. Yeah. So instead of judging
I wish I had a drop for
history instead of judging history by today's standards, you have to judge today by today's standards and judge history by the standards of then, and recognize the progressiveness that they had back then.
Not allowed.
That's
so
all.
You can't be like, oh, well, he's from a different time. Like, say, like your grandfather or like older business people or something like that. You're like, well, he was from a different time. Like, that's fine, but he's alive now, and he should understand how the world is changing.
Well,
versus something that's already been done.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Here's
the thing with that is a lot of people like that. I'm not saying that they don't understand. Like I feel like they culturally understand that they aren't supposed to act like that.
Yeah.
But they don't know how
Why?
they're what. No, I mean, sometimes they take away words that they're not supposed to use that they don't fucking know.
They don't know what
Yeah.
to replace it
You know what
with.
I mean? Yeah, like, but they've been around. They're like, I've been saying that shit for the past 20 years, trying to not to be racist, and then all of a sudden this is racist. Like, what the fuck? You can't change the rules on me, dude. Like,
Yeah, like
That
that kind of seems ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
if you're gonna change, I can't say retard anymore, even though the
I grew up
actual
with that.
term
Yeah,
retarded it doesn't
Faggot.
mean you're a stupid asshole or you're dumb as fuck. It just means you literally have something that is retarding your development, etc.
Like, you're
or just
stupid.
like calling somebody, like you said, fag.
Yeah.
Well, fags had so many different. Anyway, yeah,
I mean,
it's just
you
changing
bundle
the
sticks.
rules.
like I never
You
fucking.
fucking cigarette.
Yeah. but also, I've never called a gay person a faggot.
Yeah, you call your friends fags, you stupid fag. But
It's like George Carlin
I've
says.
never called a gay person a
George
fag
Carlin
myself.
says a fag is the guy who won't get in the van with you to go beat up the queers. And
Yeah, there you go. Or when you tell somebody, dude, that's the gayest joke you've ever said. It doesn't mean that it's literally a gay joke. It just means it's stupid and it's lame.
If you watch Rogan's new special, he says he has a pretty great great comparison. He's like, I love cats or something like that. He's like, that's gay. He's like, there are plenty of gay things in the world that don't have to do with butt sex.
He was talking about
Yeah.
wrestling was gay.
Wrestling was gay. Yeah, he said he's like this is gay as fuck. he's like the only thing
Oiled up men
Yeah,
in fucking underpants and leather.
and they're grappling with each other, playing pretend. and he's like, the only thing keeping this from being extremely homosexual is that there's not a dick in one of the other guys' mouths.
That is a perfect example of where you're taking something as you're taking something like being homosexual and you're making it about the sex. It's not about the sex. It's who you love.
Right.
That's it. So who cares if you love a man, but you don't make don't make gay culture about the actual sexual part of it. Because guess what? You might be gay because the sexual part might be because you're attracted to somebody of the same sex, but it has your identity has less to do with the actual physical act of butt fucking and more to do with who you are.
Right.
Be the individual you are and not what the overall guise is. You're a guy who likes to poke butts. Well, there's more to be, or suck dick, but there's more to being gay than that. You're this, you're an artist, you're this, you're this.
Sure.
You're the individual.
Yeah.
That's all.
But my point was,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Joey Diaz says this in one of his things recently too. He was like,
Joey Diaz?
yeah, he said something. He goes, the guy was half a fag or something like that. And he goes, I said fag. I know we're not supposed to. He's like, I've been saying it for 45 fucking years. You can't just change the fucking rules on me. And he's like, I'm almost dead now. Like, you can't just change the fucking rules on me. And then it was hilarious. And he's like, he goes. And he has a good one too. He goes, I would never call anyone gay. He's like, I got plenty of gay friends or whatever. He's like, I would never call him a fag. He's like, you know what a fag is? A fag is one of the guys who plugs his ears when the fucking fire truck goes by. He's like, that's a fag.
Yeah, there you. I love that. I love that.
That's like hilarious. Yeah.
Just jump, you queer.
You quit being a faggot and you suck that dick. So that was a Louis C.K. bit. He's like,
You suck that dick like a man.
he's like, I know, if my friend, he's like, I never call my gay. He's like, but if my friend was gay, if he was being a faggot, then quit being a faggot. Faggot, he's like, you quit being a faggot and you suck that dick.
Louis
All right,
C.K.
cheers, guys. I don't know. I'm not cheersing to Louis.
I'm not
CK.
cheering.
No. Just you said cheers.
As a comic,
You
I'm
said
okay
cheers.
with that.
No, not doing that.
So we beat off in front of a few people. Who cares?
All right.
It's me, bitches.
I may have some news for you.
Go ahead.
Entertainment news, everybody. This just broke out.
That is a scientific fact, huh?
I'm not gonna get to this story. I have a question for you. News story that'll make you guys a little bit tingly in the fans. Okay, we need to move on from that. I need to get away from that real quick.
I read somewhere that their periods attract bears.
That's my favorite part of that ending. There is the attract bears. I love that quote.
All right, going into entertainment news. So
Drunk Pacino.
Drunk Pacino. Look, he might come back this year. We don't know. He will never die. All right. We actually got to check out Captain Marvel this past weekend. Ryan, myself, and the deceased Ricky C. Rest in peace, Ricky C. Asshole.
I'm listening.
No, I was saying Ricky C.
Oh yeah, he's an asshole. That's why I didn't want. That's why I didn't want to tell him to rest in peace. I hope he's fucking rotting. I'm very angry with him right now.
Apparently
It's still R.I.P. Rotten Peas.
Rotten peace,
rotten
you
peas.
fucking fuck.
The filthy animal. All right, but we checked out Captain Marvel, and you said you got spoiled on it, right? A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. The only question I have are the Krees blue?
Don't. Wait, are the Krees blue?
Are the Kree blue in that like they're supposed to be?
Yeah.
Because the Kree are supposed to be blue-gray.
I will say this. In the trailer, so I'm not spoiling
Yeah.
anything, you can see that the Kree are blue.
Okay.
Ronan the Accuser, who is a Kree, is blue.
Yeah, no,
There
it's
are
just
more
because I
things-
saw some of the production pictures of Jude Law and stuff, and he wasn't blue.
Well, that's something that they tackle in the story.
Oh, okay,
Basically.
okay.
And so I have a thing where it's in the story and it's obviously in the trailer. You see he's in there as a Kree.
Yeah.
I think it's just something that they can do.
Ah, okay.
It seems, and it's not stated, it just seems that way, is that the natural Kree are blue. Like,
well,
people that
Ronan
are born,
was, yeah. Except
Ronan's blue. A
okay,
lot of
but
other
what's
characters are blue.
what's his name? The character when you were first introduced to him in Guardians 1.
Yondu?
No, the one that had the Kree that had the shit in his head. I can't remember the
the
black actor's
yeah,
name.
yeah.
I love that guy. He was in Gladiator and shit
I
like
know who you're
that.
talking about.
I literally had his name in my head right now.
Starts with like a K or something.
I don't know what the guy's name is.
I know who you're talking about. Though.
The guy that goes, "Oh, Star-Lord," he's like, "Who?"
Yeah, him.
Sorry.
Jesus.
That's one of my favorite gifts to put whenever like TMZ or someone posts about somebody. I'm like, who? Like they just said something about like Aaron Carter. They're like Aaron Carter. Aaron Carter. Yeah, like Aaron
God.
Carter is pissed about the new Michael Jackson documentary and calls those motherfuckers liars. I'm like,
Taking it
who?
way back.
Yeah. They're just pulling anyone out of the woodwork.
I know. I put
Jeez.
that one and what year is it?
Yeah.
They're my two favorites. I told because like I texted Steve. I was like, I think I'm getting into D Antwoord. He's like, what year is it?
Are you? Also, I need to stop you right the fuck now. Are you serious?
Yeah,
Why?
I like it.
Why?
I think you're freaky, bro.
I hate it. This guy?
Yeah, that dude.
Digimon
Hansu.
Hansu. Yeah. I love that guy. He's a fucking good actor. But what was that character's?
Digimon
What was the character's name though? From Guardians.
Digimon Hansu. Korath.
Korra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in Shazam. Apparently.
Oh, isn't he
Wait,
the
what?
wizard? I think it's the wizard. Yeah, the wizard. It says the wizard.
Says it
I
right
did
there.
not. I swear to God, I didn't read it.
You read too, huh?
I swear to God, I didn't read it. No, I didn't. I didn't read
Hey,
it.
yet another actor who's done Marvel DC crossovers.
Yeah,
A
few
lot
them
of people
are.
have. I've
I mean,
noticed.
in Shazam alone, you have Zachary Levi, who is Shazam, but also was in all of the Thor movies. Not all of them, actually.
Wait.
A couple of them.
Who was he in?
He was in the Warriors 3. He was
You-
the guy
oh
with
shit! You're right.
the guy with the rapier.
Yeah. Holy shit.
The guy with the raper.
Damn.
Rapier.
It's funny because I was reading a thing about Star Wars and Star Trek and different actors who have crossovered and shit.
Star Wars and
But
Star
most of the Star Trek actors who have crossed over to Star Wars have done it voiceover work for the animated stuff. And
There's
shit,
actually a whole
so.
ton, like, and then also Idris Elba, who was fucking with the sword.
Heimdall.
He is.
Oh, yeah,
he's
Heim,
replacing,
not him.
He's replacing Will Smith as Deadshot, in the new Suicide Squad,
What?
which is also being directed by James Gunn, who directed Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, there's so much crossover. It's not a big deal. It's not.
Yeah,
So there's.
Although that is a little crazy, though, you get Will Smith and Idris Elba, who, I mean,
Which Will Smith was working.
their physiques are totally different. So, I mean, seeing,
Why
Agreed.
is that weird?
well, just because the character of Deadshot, you get one idea that he's kind of a lanky, built sort of a guy, da-da-da. But with Idris Elba, you get somebody who's a hell of a lot more built than Will Smith is. So the
Is Idris
physical...
Elba playing a Deadshot?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what he was just saying.
Yeah, no, Ryan doesn't listen to me, so I just
Oh, okay.
I don't expect to actually pay attention to the story. But yeah, no, and then you also have Will Smith, who was in Suicide Squad.
I'm sorry, were you talking?
as the genie in a Disney property owned by
No, that's right. Yeah.
which we'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah, going back, what is
Did you guys know Will Smith was black?
Wait, what?
Blue.
Yeah.
Have you just been eating this entire show?
I mean, I didn't bring snacks not to eat them.
I didn't think you eat all of them throughout the entire show. Are this the chips? Chips?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see what's up with
It's they're even unopened.
These are. Wait, hold on. They like brought all these like weird fucking organic food in today.
Jalapeno
Made with
lime.
organic yellow corn. So they're jalapeno lime corn chips.
All right. Captain Marvel mini review. I'll start since Ryan's chewing.
Oh, go ahead.
Without going into spoilers, I really enjoyed it. However, I was kind of disappointed in very certain but small aspects. So I would say it's definitely a good movie, not great. And I'm not
Like
I'm-
what?
So what criticisms or as far as what do you mean? Like I really
Like,
love.
what was disappointing?
Okay, so one certain musical choices for certain times didn't give the effect that I think it was brought to. I'm not gonna put spoilers in there, but
I know what
like,
you're talking about.
Some fighting stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
and then some choices of when you play music and what songs. I'm like, why?
I liked it.
Also, and this is not a spoiler, but just something that I took a I thought it was really weird. It didn't feel like she took a single hit as a hit. Like, she was very much like every time she got hit, it seemed like as if I just pushed you like this.
Yeah, her hair was always very nice.
Perfect. Yeah. Whereas, like, any other, even Superman, even in Man of Steel, it looked like when he got punched by someone that could punch him, he got punched.
Sure.
Like, but I'm just saying, like, she just brushed everything off. That kind of was like, okay.
Well, there was that one part in the Return of Superman when they that first Superman movie that came out. It was only the one guy.
The one with fucking with Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. That was terrible.
Kryptonite.
But when they show that close-up scene of somebody firing a bullet at him, and the bullet flattens out on his eye, and nothing happens to his eye, and it looks like
I didn't like
totally.
That either.
It's just the worst.
Like,
That's why I hate.
so
Like, that was so fucking stupid.
I liked it in Smallville. He got shot with bullets, but it left like a tiny welt, like a very tiny, tiny welt in his hand.
Yeah, well, he was younger. He wasn't.
He getting shot in the eye.
Yeah, like, and then
it was-
like,
it was
seriously, the CG was terrible.
Yeah.
Like, it was so terrible. It looked like they had put up like a glass brick wall and bloop, and that was it. And then you're like, okay, I'm supposed to believe that?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And Wonder Woman too, when she got hit.
Although that's slightly better than what they used to do in the old black and white Superman show, where they'd fire the bullet, the bad guy would fire bullets, and then Superman would just stand there, and then they, when they were out of bullets, they'd throw the gun, and Superman would dodge the gun. It's so funny.
But I mean, the like I said, the criticisms I have are very minute. Like, I really enjoyed this movie a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Which brings back
great messages, of course.
So, are you saying that even the worst Marvel movie is still a great movie?
That sounds like it.
Are you saying that you think Captain Marvel's the worst Marvel movie?
No. But it sounded like you had a lot of criticisms, so I don't know.
Oh,
where
no,
would you
no,
where
no,
would
no.
you where would you put this? Where would you wedge this between?
Rank it? I would have to think about a lot of them, but I enjoyed it a lot.
That's 19 movies total.
So
Holy
first and
shit.
foremost,
Yeah, you don't have
above,
to. You don't have to. Okay, so your favorite, let's say top 5 favorites. Would it reach that?
Okay, in no order. Don't say these are like my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Definitely has to be. I know off the top of my head, Thor, Ragnarok. I would say Black Panther, Infinity War. I really like Ant-Man. I'm sorry, like that is one of my favorite.
Which one though?
No, the first one, Ant-Man. I haven't rewatched Ant-Man and the Wasp for a second time, so I can't say.
I like it more than the first one.
Okay, I have to rewatch
Ant-Man
it
and the Wasp? I've only seen
I might.
Ant-Man and the Wasp once.
I remember
so.
enjoying it. I just can't rank it because I've only seen it the one time in theaters.
I did like
And-
Ant-Man a lot though. The first one. I mean, they're
Yeah.
both great movies.
Absolutely.
The original Iron Man is also and then
The first Iron Man is one of
Yeah,
And then,
you
of course,
can't really beat that
Civil
one. Holy
War-
shit.
Civil War and Winter Soldier are also
Yeah,
there.
I think Civil War was better
we
than
counting
Winter
Spider-Man?
Soldier. Wait, which Spider-Man? Spider-Man Homecoming?
Homecoming's
yeah.
up there. Well, there
Okay.
hasn't been a second one.
Well, no, I
in-
just
in
mean
this
because there's been
universe.
all those other fucking
Yeah,
Spider-Mans.
in this universe.
Okay, the MCU universe.
yes.
Okay.
Which I mean,
The
it's
all
looking-
the Infinity Stone Continuum type
Yeah,
movies.
Exactly,
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I would say those are some of my favorites. It would I would put Captain Marvel up in there. I wouldn't. Yeah, it's up in there. Of those movies,
up in there.
of the movies that I said, it's not below or above any particular ones, but I would.
I would so all the ones that you haven't named
better
are,
than
are,
Iron
bo-
Man
are
2,
bo-
better than Iron Man 3, better than. I didn't really care for even the first Thor, or definitely not the second Thor.
I like the first
Oh, the
First one's
yeah,
okay.
the first one, yeah, the first one. The
one's
second
sick,
was
dude.
the second
when's the
one
last time
was.
you watched it?
It's been a while, but
You got to rewatch it. I think
Alright.
I think when you
The
rewatch
third-
it after everything like kind of
maybe I
unfolds.
should.
The
Maybe I
third
need to watch-
Iron Man is one of the worst movies, I think, because
it's a
they
great
fucked up
movie.
It is.
they completely
great movie.
screwed up
It
the
is.
background,
But
the
not
backstory
a good
for the
Marvel movie.
Mandarin.
Yeah,
and
totally.
Not a good Marvel
But
movie.
here's the thing.
So stupid.
Here's the thing: is like after everything else has unfolded,
Yeah.
and you go back and watch those movies, they're not as miserable as you thought they were.
Well, yeah, you end up seeing a lot more than you did the first time.
Right.
You're not as bored and like,
after-
what the fuck?
because you've seen all these other things kind of unfold after.
Yeah,
all that
yeah,
stuff.
good point.
So like when you go back and you're like, oh, this was before. You kind of like you put all that shit together, And that's what I think. What's important about these movies is even though they're literally gonna stand the test of time because of all this shit.
What's
you know?
your least favorite?
Yeah.
One? If you could
My least
pull it
favorite
out,
one is
least
Thor
favorite.
2. That's what
Dark World.
Dark World. Yeah.
I think that is a lot of people's least favorite.
That's my
What do you-
least favorite one.
You said you're all caught up except for Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah, except for Captain Marvel. I would say probably the one that I liked the least would be. It's a tie between Iron Man 3 and Thor 2. It really is like I just did
Iron Man
not
3
like.
above Thor 2.
I mean they were good
Same.
for what they were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, if I was sitting in the right chair, then I think I could squeeze out a yes on that. Like, yeah, Iron Man 3 is. There you go. It's slightly better.
dude, like Thor 2 is so forgettable.
Yeah. The only thing about it that wasn't
have seen it
forgettable
recently.
was the ether, which ended up being the fucking stone.
That's right.
Reality.
Yeah.
No,
reality stone.
the reality
that's
stone.
Right. That's right.
The
Which was the most confusing one.
yeah.
Because I'm like, wait, what are these powers even? And it's not even a stone. It looked like liquid.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But the fact that it was
It was
they
just a set- it
explained
was
they
literally a setup
explained
for,
it
like,
the least.
The Avengers, you know. or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. That's all it was almost like a
It was saying,
throwaway movie.
Look, Thor can move to back to Earth again if he feels like.
Look, his
Yeah.
girlfriend
Yeah.
all of a sudden is
Now
even
she's a-
worse trouble than
Now
she
she's a
was
space
before.
queen or something.
Yeah, and even then, and I'm sorry, like, no, I'm not sorry. I don't know why I said I'm sorry.
Good.
I'm not particularly a big fan of Natalie Portman's character in the MCU universe.
Yes.
Like
How'd you-
other movies are one thing she's good in, but as far as her character Jane, whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
no,
Jane,
that's
bullshit.
terrible. She's so stiff and so rigid and so unbelievable as that character, Jane Foster. No, no.
I agree.
Anyway,
I agree with you.
Sure. But as far as Captain Marvel goes, I think it is a really good job. I will say, as it shouldn't be a surprise if anyone's watched Infinity War.
Hold on.
Okay, go. Your turn. Oh yeah, you didn't even go do your thing.
I actually, you know what? I had a few little gripes with the movie, but it's like, it's one of those movies that I sat all the way through and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I didn't love it.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. It was just an enjoyable movie. Like it's like, but like I said before, like even the worst of Marvel movies are still great movies.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like. It's not like fucking Civil War or with Civil War, like when you first see Spider-Man, I shit my pants, you know.
yeah.
That was some groundbreaking cinema right there.
Or the first time you see Ant-Man become Giant Man.
Become giant.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Like that was
big
cool.
fuck.
Like
I remember
finally being able to see that.
In theater, you're like, yes!
And he was bigger than he said he was able to get. He was fucking 80 foot tall and said that
Well,
time or whatever.
He gets bigger in the Wasp than Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh yeah, he totally does. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, it was in Civil War that, and then it was in that one that he got even. Yeah. That's right.
Like,
yeah.
I did it before once, and then I passed out.
No, that was in Civil War.
Yeah.
That he said that.
Yeah.
See, the funny thing about that whole thing, for some reason, the thing that stuck with me as far as when he was finally normal size or whatever again and shit like that. And I don't know why the particular line stuck with me. Maybe it's because
Do you have any orange
flashback.
peels or
yeah,
oranges?
orange
Orange
wedges,
slices, yeah.
orange wedges,
Does
orange
anybody have
slices.
any orange wedges?
And I don't know if it's because I remember from Pee Wee Soccer when I was a kid or whatever,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what everybody
Maybe
would
that's
bring.
what,
But
was that the reference?
I don't know. That's what I keep.
Yeah.
That's what I've been wondering is
No,
because
that's what
Like
I-
they were a team and they
No,
fought
same.
together.
yeah, but
yeah, exactly.
on,
It's the
when
same.
you
Okay.
when you're on a soccer team and you have a scrimmage or a
Yeah.
game or whatever,
They give you,
we would
uh,
always
orange
have
wedges.
orange
Orange wedges,
orange
yeah.
slices,
we
orange
got-
wedges. Yeah.
And baseball as well.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got.
That's kind of what I was thinking too.
I didn't really understand that line until right now, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. See,
I
that's
thought- I
why
thought
these
maybe-
fucking stories will,
I
these
thought
movies will
I
stand
thought
the
it
test
was like
of
a
time.
thing that I didn't know about, like being dizzy, like orange slices help or something.
No, it was just in little kid sports. That's what they hand out after.
right.
you
I
It's a
drink.
quick
understand that,
burst
but
and
I
it-
fucking
yeah.
played
It's funny.
tiny league
It,
baseball.
it was just like fast acting carbs. They're like, here, get re-energized. There's like nutrients and fast acting carbs,
Yeah,
sugar, and all that stuff.
I love little stuff like that in different movies.
yeah. I didn't.
It's
I
a
didn't
one
realize.
thing that the
Well,
X-Men
there was that-
movies didn't really have going for
Did
them
you-
because
did
they
you
were
notice-
always ruining them.
What about that? What about that moment between Captain America and Spider-Man?
Oh, about
He's like, got a lot of heart. Kid.
Bronx
Where you
and
from? Yeah, he's
Queens.
Bronx,
Yeah,
Queens.
yeah. I liked
Bronx.
that part too.
Or Brooklyn. Yeah.
Yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah, that was actually a really good part. See, and that again is why I'm really liking what they've been doing with the Spider-Man character specifically is they gave the smallest detail that nobody ever paid attention to before.
Brooklyn
His
accent?
Brooklyn fucking accent. How the hell is this kid never had an accent until now?
Yeah.
Queens.
Queens.
Awesome.
accent,
Yeah,
sorry.
Queen's accent.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now it's amazing because they actually make him sound like from where he's from. Just
he's
like
British.
And he's an English actor.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. It's just like listening to Andrew Lincoln or the guy who
like Rick
played
Graham.
Jesus or a couple of those other actors who played characters in The Walking Dead who were actually from fucking England and shit. They've got English accents, and yet they sound so American like you'd never know.
Okay, back to Captain Marvel.
Yeah. So hey, when you guys are done with those beers, we have some
Oh,
Some-
sweet.
What do you mean when?
jalapeno pineapple hazy IPA. Oh, how'd that happen?
I don't know. It's thirsty. Delicious. That might be one of my favorites so far.
Yeah, right.
Nice. I think you're gonna like this jalapeno pineapple a
I've had
little
this
better
one
though.
before, but not in a while, and not. You said it's been so beers change over time, correct?
Yes, they do.
Let me ask you this question then. So, if you go to a liquor store and you see beers that are marked like from bottled a year ago, are they massively different? And is that
They
good?
can be.
Good or bad?
They can be, and
Specifically the
it
Enjoy Buys.
depends. No, actually, I found some beers that say you should drink them fresh. Do taste quite good. They do change. They get little maltier, that kind of thing over time.
what
you
general-
might get
is
a
that-
little bit of a more perceived sweetness, and you might lose some of that punchy, robust hop flavor. But otherwise, yeah. Simple answer: yes, they do change over time, flavor wise.
Is it necessarily okay? So is it a bad thing or just a slightly different thing?
Depends on the beer because I've had beers that aged out and they were okay, not bad. They just had a general kind of malty, no hop, real presence to it and stuff. And then I've had other beers that just they should be drank fresh because they just did not.
They skunk real bad.
Well, skunking happens when you expose a beer to UV. Like that's why Heineken, Coronas
Okay.
always have that weird.
I don't know if
skunky
that's
flavor.
the right term, but this is what happened to me.
Okay.
I've never poured out a beer in my life.
Oh, I love these stories. I love these are my favorite stories, guys.
Until I was in San Diego and I got a variety pack of Stone.
Okay.
And in that
Now
variety
you definitely got my attention.
And in that variety pack,
Ooh, did you see the pop on that?
and in that variety pack, all the Enjoy Buys tasted like shit.
Which Enjoy by?
I don't know. It was a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it wasn't.
Enjoy by a long time ago.
It was literally a year ago, so I don't remember what Enjoy By it was. But
Vicky, hurry up! Pineapple.
Hurry.
But yeah, so we had the variety pack, and it was like the bulk. I mean, me and my friend Steve were just like, "What the fuck? This one tastes gross."
You guys, this smells great.
All right.
And
here we go.
so I tried to drink another one, thinking it was just that one.
Cheers, guys.
Pick your beer up.
sure.
There you go.
I love it, especially with the blueberries too. Even
Yeah.
the blueberries. Is,
Pineapple blueberry, bro.
I have to try this fucking blueberry bit.
There you go.
Fuck me. This
Okay, I love the snap of blueberry.
This is my favorite. I'm sorry. But, like all the other ones are great. I love this.
Oh man, that blueberry does set it off some.
Yeah, it does.
It's like ketchup on a steak.
Yeah.
I'm just
What?
kidding.
What the fuck?
Fuck out of my house!
I agreed with you for a
Okay,
second.
have
I
you
was
got-
like, wait a minute, what
No,
happened
you
here?
you guys have seen Waiting. There's
Oh,
that
yeah,
redneck guy who says nothing like ketchup to
Also, did you
ketchup
not-
to set off the flavor of a steak or something
Oh,
like that.
I thought you were referring to President Trump.
No.
You know he's had pictures of him eating a steak with ketchup.
Oh God,
A
why?
well done steak
Okay.
with ketchup.
All right.
The worst American of all time.
I don't
Hank
try
Hill
and
would
I
roll
don't
over
try
his
to
grave.
publicly talk too much about the president, bad, good, whatever. But I'm going to tell you this right now. There is no fucking person in the history of the United States or in the fucking world or humanity that should ever put fucking ketchup on a goddamn steak. Steak doesn't take ketchup. No.
No.
Capital N, capital O, no.
I'm gonna even go a
No.
step further and say if you need to put anything on your steak, it wasn't cooked correctly.
Exactly.
Agreed.
That's what I grew up with. Hey, if there's anything more than salt and pepper, it ain't cooked right.
I won't say that much. There's a little bit
I know,
of
there's
shit,
a-
but I'm just saying
Butter.
like,
Compound
Se-
butter is so
seasonings
amazing.
and butter, a little
Some
bit of
rose,
Goat cheese.
a little
Yeah.
bit of goat cheese, a little bit of do a compound butter with some rosemary and a touch of ginger and lemon.
like light sauces.
Seriously,
not these ones
ginger,
that cover
lemon,
up-
rosemary.
Some garlic salt.
just not covering up the flavor of the steak itself. So A1,
Yes,
while it
exactly.
tastes good by itself, and it tastes good no matter what.
Hey, if you want your
why are
hot
you-
dog
yeah.
to taste like a steak,
why are you eating a steak with it? Exactly.
if you want your hamburger to taste like a steak,
Boom.
use A1. It's
Smokehouse,
great, but
some onion rings,
Oh,
burger,
yeah.
A1,
yep,
fucking
A1 with
jizz right there.
Oh yeah, it's better than ketchup in
But
that.
any steak.
So I'm not a
should
fan
do
of
it.
A1 sauce. Period. But
That's fine.
when you guys do it, do you cook it with A1 sauce?
No,
No.
no.
When
You get
I've-
too salty with the A1 cooks
Yeah.
down too salty,
exactly.
and that's all you get.
I'm not a fan of the taste of it.
If you were going to use A1, it would just be a slight dipping sauce. You'd cut your steak into bite-sized pieces and do a slight little
Okay.
dip, basically.
Almost like if you were instead of using A1, using Worcestershire to do like a little dip or
Yeah, I'm
something.
not a fan of that vinegary based shit.
Oh,
That's
I like
totally-
it. It's good.
Worcestershire is not too bad because
I love it
it's
in
got
my
but
Bloody
it's got like
Marys.
fish sauce and
Yeah,
other
yeah.
or
It's-
fish stuff in
it's-
anchovy paste
It's
or
fine.
something.
It's
yeah,
fine in a Bloody Mary, but I can't.
yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't-
put it on your food. Yeah,
Or
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
put it on my food really.
In
yeah.
a
I mean,
mixture.
maybe
a lot of beer.
I'll,
No one should put it on their steak.
Yeah, there you go. Should no
you can do
one.
whatever you want to enjoy it. I will judge you. No,
Yeah.
I won't do it. If
Yeah,
that's
that's.
what
I mean,
you like.
my dad.
I'm not paying for your food if that's
my,
what you like.
my
I don't
dad's
know.
always been. My dad's always been like well done fucking steak sauce.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, okay. So y'all
Never eat a well done steak.
y'all know
Ugh.
I work at a restaurant, and it's a really nice restaurant. We have available literally $100 steak. It's a big steak.
I've paid about that much for a
Wait,
for a good
how,
steak.
how many ounces is that steak?
It's
gotta be-
32-ounce ribeye, bone-in ribeye.
I was gonna say it's gotta be more than 25.
Yeah.
32-ounce bone-in ribeye.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite fucking steak right there.
It's $100.
It's $100.
Shit.
When people
I'll come
order
in.
it well done, I'm just like
Sounds good.
I fight every urge in my body, just like, are you sure? Are you-
Why?
Is that what you want?
They want it.
Why?
They order it well done.
Yes.
Is it
You're
aged?
going. Yeah. You're going to a
Okay.
restaurant and you're ordering a really nice, really big
Yeah.
cut
Yeah.
of meat
Cut
that
of meat.
it is designed
Oh my
to
god.
be eaten a certain way, and you're like,
Why are you
just
gonna
dry it the fuck
why-
out, burn it.
I've
want-
never
you-
seen a
you should
piece
be
of
allowed to
meat that's
just bitch
great.
slap people like that.
You know, okay, you know what happens when you, seriously, when it comes to food safety, you know what happens when meat turns gray? You
My
throw
heart,
it
you
out.
throw it out, yeah.
You
My
don't
heart
eat it.
turns gray. Yes.
Yeah.
No. And I was
Ugh.
like,
God, what a waste. What a giant
so
waste.
much. It was stupid. I ate a New York steak before I came here. Unfortunately, I
Lucky.
waited 3 days, and a lot of the blood drained out.
you know
But
what?
man, it was still. I
Have you ever
cooked it
tried
like
your
it was
own?
rare, and it was awesome. No, and
I
I've been
have it
wanting
so
to.
good.
But, well,
Okay, so
how
it's
did
a
how
very
did
light
you
rice.
do?
It's-
How
it's
did you do it in the refrigerator without
Yes.
it going bad?
Here's how it goes. So you have to suspend it. What I did was I took the package, and it was I got it from Smart and Final. Those packages are not the foam ones; they're plastic.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of depth to them as well. You put skewers in them, suspend it so it's not touching the bottom, and then put it between two paper towels. You do that, and you continuously change the paper towels for up to about a week, I'd say. I did it for about
Oh, okay.
5 days.
You don't salt them or
dry it
anything?
out?
No,
or-
I think I might. I think I did that too. But I'm just saying no longer than that because
What is this for?
Dry aging in your fridge. And then I did it, and I think I still have some pictures in my phone somewhere. I'll show you later, and it just looked beautiful. I cooked it, and it was so good.
Did you
light.
have to trim all
No.
the dry age? Okay, 'cause see, that's the only thing about a professional dry age
Well, yeah,
at a
anything
restaurant
after, like,
is
30,
they have
60
to cut.
days.
They have to trim off
'Cause
real
that's just
thin layers of
bacteria at
the.
the very
Yeah. But
Yeah.
and that's a great thing about like not a lot of people know it, but when it comes to like steaks and actual cuts of meat, you could drop it on the floor, rinse it off, whatever, and it's perfectly fine. You can dry age that shit perfectly fine. But when it comes to ground meat, you absolutely cannot rinse it off, wash it off. You can't even age it the same way. Like, if you're going to age ground meat, you have to age it in a casing of some sort and make salami out of it, because otherwise you will get sick. You will get a bacterial infection. You'll get dirt infection or whatever. And the reason why is because ground meat has more surface area on it.
Porous.
And which means it makes it more porous. Whereas like a steak, for instance, or you take a Boston butt, like a roast of some sort, whether it's pork or lamb or whatever. If it's an actual cut of meat, you can rinse it off because it's not porous the same way, and there's less surface area. Even though a steak is bigger than, say, a sausage, when you break it down, it's less surface area.
How the fuck did we get here?
Because I made
Captain Marvel.
Because I made a stupid ass comment that was a quote from a movie about ketchup setting off the
that's what it
flavor of a
was.
steak.
That's what it was.
Anyway,
This is your fault.
Anyway,
now
fuck, I didn't
getting
even get
past that,
Can I please tell you what I thought of
please,
Captain Marvel? Jeez.
please, I'm sorry.
I see what you're saying about the soundtrack. I totally understand that. I, however, enjoyed it. I thought it was.
I like the songs. I don't like where they're.
You don't like where they were.
Yeah.
I did.
Was it because the movie's supposed to be set in the 90s?
Yeah,
and
and
where they
okay.
were putting these songs? Or
And while I would say so,
because again, I haven't seen the movie. I'm just
gonna give two
curious.
examples.
Definitely.
My two examples are Guardians of the Galaxy 1 versus Captain Marvel. You'll see the differences between where they're placed and how they're used.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Dude,
understand
I've
that.
had
I'm saying I liked it. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But I think just because I enjoyed that I just thought that I just thought the soundtrack was good.
Yeah, and that's
Doesn't mean that the
I like
music
the
cues
songs.
that the music cues were correctly used. I believe I agree with you.
that actually
and
kind of
as-
makes sense, though.
As,
I mean,
as two guys born in 1990, like those are all songs that we fucking grew up with, literally. Like that was the shit that we grew up with.
Right.
I want to say that one of the first albums I ever heard was actually my brother playing No Doubt.
Oh, you know one of the first ones I heard?
What?
Jeremy Spoken.
if you'd have asked me if I saw that coming, I'd have told you no. I'm the dumbass that got hit by the bus.
Oh man. Well, we got the beat. So.
I wish that would get
up.
old, but it'll never
Shut
get
up.
old. It really won't.
Shut your mouth.
Okay. And then aside from that, it was very cool to, like, I know it always sounds weird and like but like it seriously makes me so happy when I see these movies like tie into each other so much, like.
Okay.
If that makes sense, like this movie is a movie of references to other movies, and if I feel like if no
Are you
one
talking about 80s or 90s references?
no, I'm talking about references to
MCU.
to the MCU,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
completely.
got it.
Like directly to other
I mean,
movies.
it's like it makes me excited because I've been following this since day one. You know what I mean? So it makes me excited when these movies do this. They're like, hey, remember this shit, and you remember this thing, and you remember that guy, and then I'm like, oh, that's that dude who did that thing, and it's like it really is exciting to me, and I think that's why there wasn't a dull moment for me.
Oh, definitely not. I would never call this movie dull at all. It's much, but I would say it's much more of a like you have to like think about it a little bit more because it's not your typical fish out of water thing. Even though, I mean, as you can see in the trailer, it's what looks to be like an alien essentially,
Yeah,
falling into an unknown planet.
sure.
And so,
But also, but there was something that they did at, with her falling into. It's a small thing that like makes a huge deal in the plot setting, right? Where she falls into the Blockbuster, she walks out, she talks to the security guard, and then she says, "Oh, is my like language thingy working or whatever?" Right?
Yeah.
Like,
I actually really liked that.
You know what I mean?
Like, oh shit, is my universal translator
use
working?
Universal Translate. That's what it was. Yeah.
And so that makes so much more sense why everyone's speaking English.
Exactly. That makes it in that alleviates so much like plot hole bullshit.
Why are they speaking English?
Why she's like from a different universe? Why she's like that perfect? They immediately were like,
translator.
This is why.
And I really like those small details that just take care of these tiny things.
Make a huge
why
difference.
is she speaking English? If she's from a different planet,
right?
And blah blah blah. Like, because you're meant to understand it as a translated,
right?
It's translated, which I mean and it's so super simple. You don't have to overthink it. You just say it's translated, and it's like cool. Like the book and the movie, of course, Hitchhiker's Guide. They were like, oh, Babelfish. You put it in your ear. It's a little alien fish that translates everything. And then all of a sudden, you don't care about all these alien creatures speaking different languages,
and you don't think about the plot holes about it. You know what I mean?
In the movies, in the show Farscape, the way they had that explained was it was bacteria injected into the base of the spine and the head that would somehow translate different creatures and shit like that.
All of a sudden, critical assholes are trying to like they're like, well, how does Han Solo talk to Chewbacca? How do they understand each other?
Yeah, have you seen Solo?
Because they're idiots. Because Han Solo knew how to speak Chewbacca's language.
Oh, that's right.
Duh.
That's right.
Yeah. I didn't know if you saw that. Yeah,
I did see that. Yeah.
Which I was like, that makes a lot more sense. But then, it's been out for a while, so the part where he actually speaks fucking Wookiee,
yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
And then Star-Lord, the character himself in the actual comic books, the reason why he can understand all kinds of languages is because he has a cybernetic implant translator in his head, just like he's got in the comics. He's got a cybernetic eye. And then his mask.
Yeah, I like how they do this. Like, everyone has different implants. And I love this in Infinity War, where Thor understands Groot. And he's like, you speak Groot? He's like, they told it as an elective.
Yeah. That was great. Yeah. I thought that was great. And then he kept calling him, oh, my friend Tree. My friend Tree.
My friend Tree.
Awesome.
Yeah, this is Tree.
I am Steve Rogers.
That was great.
That was probably the biggest laugh I've ever had. But I mean, I see it coming now, so it's different. But when I first saw it, biggest laugh I've had in a movie in a long time.
I had a favorite. Okay, that scene for me was as good as seeing Bucky grab Rocket, and then they were spinning in a fucking circle, and then he asked him,
as a fucking sidearm, dude.
Hey, how much for the gun? It's not for sale. How much for the arm?
I'll get that.
I'll get that arm. Like, I love, but seeing Bucky and Rocket specifically in that scene made so much sense.
Yeah, they're cut from the same cloth.
Yeah. Yep. In the same way that
because they were both science experiments.
Yeah. Yep.
Essentially.
Exactly. In the same way that Rocket and Yondu Utana had that little thing going on at the end of Guardians too.
Yeah, exactly.
But it made more sense in Infinity War.
Have you noticed? I watched a YouTube video on this, and it pointed it out to me, and we talked about this before.
Oh my god, this is fucking good. I'm serious. I'm sorry. All I keep doing, all I keep smelling is jalapeno, pineapple. Boom, hit in the face.
And it's so
take another blueberry.
Smooth. Like, this is the thing that I love.
I've been mentioning these. These are fucking good with this.
It's just.
I'm gonna have to try something with blueberries.
Blueberry, I'm thinking. I was like, yes, just one blueberry.
No, I got. I'm
take
good.
one.
I already ate all those.
We can.
But Rocket Raccoon is some.
Oh, I got a tart one. That's good.
Is somehow for some reason obsessed with like body parts.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I love that in every movie.
He gets the leg in the first movie,
eyeball.
He gets the eyeball, and then he gives to Thor, and then for some reason
all over joke.
What?
And it's all jokes.
Yeah.
Was it Guardians 1? There was another fucking body part that he wanted to get from somebody else besides the leg.
He got the leg, but he wanted some guy's arm or something.
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
He was like, or his
It was
hand.
later on when they were in Nowhere. Was it in Nowhere or something when he wanted the other guy's body part and shit?
Yeah. There was something. Yeah. He was like pissed off he couldn't get it. Yeah. Or he was gonna. I forget. But anyway, yeah. There's like this weird ongoing thing with him and like body parts.
Take body parts.
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny.
Prosthetics
Dude,
mostly. Yeah.
And I've been watching all the movies that every single time I see Rocket, like I keep picturing Bradley Cooper's face and trying to match the voice and the face. And I can barely do it because he does such a good job. Bradley Cooper is
if you didn't tell me, I would
so
never guess.
good. Honestly, I think he was probably the best choice they could have used to make a movie version of the A-Team because he seriously plays face off perfectly. Like the exact same way you would expect, maybe slightly more over the
I want
top
to say Bradley
than you
Cooper's
would.
one of the best actors I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I think he's not. He does such a good job that people don't even recognize it. Like they
Like
don't-
subtle.
Like oh shit. Like yeah, exactly. Every time I think about a Bradley Cooper role, it's almost always
Have you seen
very very different.
Have you seen Silver Lining Playbook?
Yeah.
Silver Linings Playbook.
No, I haven't seen that.
Both of them are so fucking good in that movie.
Really?
It's
Okay.
It's kind of an understatement.
I've
of,
been
like,
wanting and meaning to see that movie for so long,
really
but
good.
it's
Really,
one of those
really
one
good.
movies you just never see, and then you come across it. Oh shit! I finally watch it. Type thing.
Yeah,
so.
that's where you see Jennifer Lawrence acting versus when you see her in X-Men, you're like, oh come on.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought I saw fucking Passengers, and I'm seriously telling you, she's terrible in that movie. Like
Really?
I've seen
I
her
haven't watched
worse
it.
in other movies, but she's so rigid.
She's just chilling in Passengers. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
I agree with
Chris
Like,
Chris
not
Pratt
trying.
makes the movie in that. In fact,
Chris Pratt's
honestly,
trying.
yeah, like his trying actually helps in that movie and stuff.
he's actually
She's
playing
just
someone
like,
that's not just Chris Pratt.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The only thing is that movie kind of
He's not playing
reminded
Andy
me
Dwyer.
of the newer animated series Final Space. I don't know if you guys have watched it.
I've heard
That's
it.
actually, if they ever
Okay.
made a movie version, Chris Pratt would have to play the main character.
We're somehow never gonna get my opinion completely.
No.
All the way
Oh
through.
my god.
But
Stop. I'm cutting off your mic. No, kidding.
it's cool. Captain Marvel, I really enjoyed it. You should go see it.
Definitely, I highly
Not,
recommend
it's
it.
not. I can't like. It's
Give it. You want to give it a number? Out of 10?
Yeah, it's out of 10 or out of 5.
Well, yeah, we do the beers. You want to do the beers?
Yeah, I'll give it a 4.
I give it a 4 for sure.
Yeah,
But
Wait, 4 is how good?
4 is like
5 is best?
5 is best.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 to 5.
Gotcha.
So 4 is
Nice.
4. It's usually okay. What? Yeah, we'll give it 4.
Check
beers.
it out in theaters.
Check it out in theaters.
You don't
that's
have to
that's,
do.
that's what a 4 means.
It looks like it's totally worth it. Like
4 means check it out in theaters. 5 means like an open. That's an open
weekend.
weekender.
Yeah, which we did.
Oh,
But, I
okay.
mean, it doesn't matter.
And then like
Like Infinity Wars and Endgame, and that's all going to be 5.
I don't think from this point on I'll never miss a Marvel movie opening weekend.
Yeah,
No,
plus,
okay.
I mean, just like Star Wars, people
Captain-
spoil that shit.
now Captain Marvel though, compared to say Black Panther,
Ooh,
Very different.
different.
Okay.
different movie.
Extremely.
Okay.
Like Black Panther was so much, and it's weird because it's a galaxy versus one place. I want to say it has so much to do.
well,
with
I know
other
you're
things.
introduced to Black Panther in Civil War before you ever get Black Panther the movie. So is it just different because you get it's a
No,
origin story different?
that's a good point though. That is a reason why I think that's a reason why a lot of people have gone sour over it is because it's our first origin story in a long time.
And
Right?
you're not introduced to the
trying to think
character.
who was the last
You're not introduced to this character because
Prior.
the only introduction to this character
Is
is that
this movie.
that quick last minute.
Yeah, that last minute thing.
Yeah.
that we got
I want
in.
to say Doctor Strange.
The credit. No,
Doctor
because
Strange was the last origin story.
Yeah, was Doctor Strange was after Ant-Man, right?
It was after. No,
it was.
No, it was.
Because at the end
was
of
it?
Doctor Strange, you get Ragnarok.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so you get Ant-Man.
So Doctor Strange was
Yeah.
the last origin story.
where you didn't see, so you didn't have no.
There was no
no
Avengers in that
preconceived
movie.
notion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
let's
then
get the end credits,
so
but
the only introduction you get to her is the pager.
That's it.
The pager
Exactly.
hint
That's
at
all
the
we got.
end of
and
Infinity War.
if you
Okay.
if you had no
See,
idea-
that makes a lot
didn't
of
follow
sense why
comics or anything, you had no
everybody
idea.
be like, who is this?
Yeah, so we had to have.
If you don't
we
know
did
who
it-
she
so
is.
they did have to explain it, but they did such a great job at jumping through things and getting the ball rolling. We didn't have to really. I mean, we got everything we needed, and then right when she fell into Earth and met Fury, it was like the shit was on. It was,
Oh,
like,
okay.
you know, it's perfect.
Which is one of the things that I liked. It was not that like, oh, I landed on an alien planet. I gotta.
She
hide
wasn't
myself.
confused. She
She was
wasn't.
like,
she
she's
knew
like-
where she was. She knew
She's
who
like,
to talk to.
I'm on C 414 blah, blah,
Right.
like whatever designation code
Which-
they gave us.
yeah.
And she's
Oh,
like,
okay.
where is your?
So what-
where's your? Fucking was it
the translator.
Give me some sort of equipment so I can call my planet.
Right.
And
That's
they're like,
basically.
what?
Yeah.
Oh, no
She's like,
shit.
she was like, where do I get? Where do I communications
equipment.
Yeah. He points at a Radio Shack.
And it's just as if some like a cop or like any sort of authority was like, oh shit, something happened. I need your phone. Give me your phone.
Hey,
When cop, give me your phone. Like that type of thing.
That's cool. See, I definitely want to see it because I want to see. I'm very curious how they translate 2000. Let's see. This movie was made last year, 2017 or rather, and then it was released 2019. So I want to see what 2017, 2018, what their interpretation of the decade that I went to high school all the way through the 90s, what their interpretation of that is compared to what it actually was. Like that's where my curiosity is. Because I mean, you can throw a fucking blockbuster in there, but guess what? I can see one real blockbuster up in Bend, Oregon, right now, where my brother lives.
Yeah. I would say like as like it looks.
It wasn't.
It's
They really
fine.
did.
They don't
they really
focus on
don't
it, though.
use a lot of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A lot of.
It's not like yo.
Is it more
Y'all
pulp?
like
Is
Fiona
it more
Apple?
just like quick
We got
pop
Fiona
culture
Apple.
reference stuff to the 90s?
Yeah, very
I
cool.
mean,
Okay.
the soundtrack is pretty spot on. That's,
Okay.
that's pretty much the only thing.
With
Like
exception of the
Cars.
timing that you were complaining about
just how they
earlier.
use it.
Okay.
Like the songs, obviously, were
They're all
90s
from that
songs.
era.
But I would say
It's very much just
cars, clothes, technology,
background stuff. You know, like stuff to set to set the tone of the movie.
Yeah.
You know, costuming, background, fucking, and stores and
It's
whatnot.
not. It's but you're not beating over the head with it. They're not like.
No.
Oh, that's cool.
She doesn't
That's
like walk
cool.
into some place and
Like
they're
Fury
like, look
brings
at that,
out-
it's a yak back. Look at it.
Yeah, like
Like
yeah,
that.
Making some no doubt
Like
reference or something.
like Fury brings out a pager, you know, and that.
And
But
that-
that's
but
like,
that
but
makes
that's how
sense.
it was at the time.
Yeah.
right, you
I
know?
remember getting my first pager. I was like, this is the
You
fucking.
had a fucking
I've
pager.
Yeah, I was like,
I've
this is
never
top of the
owned
line
I
shit.
never owned a pager in my life. But then again, I had to come on Humpcast quite a few years ago to finally
flip
get a
phone.
smartphone.
Remember that?
Yeah.
You had a flip phone when you first came on?
Yeah. You
Fuck
remember
it,
that?
dude.
I don't remember that.
Had it not been for my coming on this show
us
that
making fun of
very
you?
first time, no, you guys didn't make fun of me.
We
you guys,
told 'em what you could
guys
do.
kept pushing me that coming on the show means that I should probably get a smartphone and start joining the social
Oh, social
media,
media, yeah.
thing with the like. I had a Facebook, but I didn't know anything much about the Twitter or
Oh, yeah.
Twitter.
putting
Sorry.
the
Sorry.
in front of
I
everything.
said the Facebook earlier
The
today. It
Facebook
was
and
so
the Twitter
stupid, but
and the Captain
like
Marvel.
I didn't
The
like I
Instagram.
knew what
Instagram.
Instagram was and stuff, but I hadn't joined any or done anything like that until just a few months after I'd been on this show for the first time. And then since then, I've finally had some rumor. So.
All right, we gotta get moving.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll be here all night.
I think it's funny that like we've done so many short shows lately that it's like, oh, we're actually doing an actual.
You
like,
guys have
show.
done some short shows lately.
Well, the
haven't
last
you?
one
Yeah.
was
Been in a
because
big
this guy
hurry.
had to go to a show or whatever. This
Oh
one,
yeah.
let me see.
Wow.
We're
Yeah,
150. This is a regularly. We're good.
We're almost
moving
at
forward.
2 hours already.
We're good. All right.
This is longer than
we're
usual.
Good. Also, side
Lately.
note,
Usual lately.
Captain Marvel came in at 153.4 million. So
Damn.
that's I heard
Whoa.
it's one of the largest box office openings of all time. So good for it.
It's just gonna be at some point. It's gonna be all Marvel movies.
I would
The
want
box office. The box office
Yeah.
openings. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
top 5 are gonna be like it's gonna be like Captain America, Civil War, fucking
Infinity
Avengers,
War.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Black
look that up.
Panther.
And that's not even including the rebooting that they're going to start doing since this is supposed to be the end of the most
Phase
recent
3 or whatever. Yeah.
whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean.
Yeah, there's gonna be so much. Yeah,
Same thing with like Star
I really
Wars
like
is
what
supposed to
I
do the same
love-
thing.
All right. So I got it right here. The list of the biggest.
Oh
box
yeah,
office all
Star
time.
Wars and Jurassic
So,
World. That's all we got.
Avengers: Infinity War is number 1. Star Wars: Force
Interesting.
Awakens.
Oh, we
Last
finally
Jedi,
they
Jurassic
finally
World.
knocked out Titanic.
I'll be
No,
damned.
that's the most money
Oh,
made
of all
its
time.
run of all time.
Oh,
So of its theatrical one, and that keep in mind that's including re-releases.
Oh,
Titanic
highest grossing
and Avatar
openings.
Were, yeah. Oh god damn
Oh
it.
my god. So sorry.
Yeah. Re-releases are counted
Careful, there's a beer in
the
front of
box office.
Jeremy spilled it
all over the
God damn it.
All right. We're good. All right. But yeah, so this is the list of the highest grossing opening box office. As far as runs go, those are entirely different, though.
Let's look that up. Where are we at with that?
Well, give me a second as my entire equipment is full of beer. So
Well,
I'm sorry.
well,
Give
it
me
was
any more.
thirsty. It was thirsty.
it
dude.
was. I need to go get napkins. I'll be right back. If you could go ahead and talk, that'd be awesome.
What do you want me to talk about?
I don't know.
Wait, so what are we looking at here? What's this chart here?
Well, that's the highest
Biggest worldwide-
grossing
wait, worldwide
openings.
Openings on record. Okay, worldwide openings. So how is this? Dude, who the fuck in the world is watching these fucking Fast and Furious movies? I seriously don't know
How
who
in
they
the hell
are.
did those get so fucking huge?
I don't know who they are. I really don't.
Who is Fast and Furious? I don't get it. Is that what you're saying?
Hey, driver, move that vehicle.
Oh my god! I will say that the Universal.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make him sound so retarded, but
No, that was
Universal-
funny. That was pretty good.
You can't say retarded, bro.
dude, I don't care. Fucking Vin Diesel's retarded. He is.
He's not allowed.
He's the Iron Giant. He's a box of rocks, dude.
Wait. He was Groot.
Yeah, that's right. Like this guy has somehow made a career on like having 0 to no lines. I mean, like little to none lines. You know, like my family.
Car.
You either win by a mile. What is it? Win by? What did he say?
Win by an inch.
Win by an inch or win by a mile. A win's a win. Why does it sound like Bane? Win by a mile.
We is going to win.
Win by an inch. Win by a mile. A win is a win.
What did you eat? A frumpy biscuit?
We here.
Oh my god.
Shit.
Bagel and cream cheese. Who is the only man to have defeated me in freestyle rapping?
The Buster kept me out of handcuffs.
Strawberries are packed with fiber.
That actually
was
sounded
doing
sounded a little more Picard, that guy. Stewart, Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, I got you. I was doing Vin Diesel lines as Bane. I don't know what the fuck
I
you
didn't
were
hear
doing.
I didn't understand anything you said.
He said something about strawberries. So.
I said the Buster kept me out of handcuffs. You remember that from the first movie?
I can't hear the bus.
The Buster kept me out of handcuffs.
Oh,
Because the Buster kept me out of handcuffs.
Damn. We are family. Undefeated family.
What?
I'm usually pretty good at this.
even Bane
I'm not
right.
doing good.
You can't even Bane
I usually
right,
do a
dude.
really good band. I'm out of practice. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm just saying the list of highest grossing opening films. You have Avengers: Infinity War, Fate of the Furious, Star Wars, The Force Awakens, Jurassic World, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and number 6, Captain Marvel.
What?
Really? Holy shit.
Wow.
I just said that.
Wow.
It beat out The Last Jedi.
I can't believe
Batman
this.
v Superman.
What a disappointment that was.
Spider-Man. Well, no, because you
Wow.
expected it to be good.
Yeah.
After the second one was probably
Oh.
the best one. So
Oh, come on.
that's,
yeah.
no, that's usually so
Yeah,
usually it's what it
yeah.
is. After the first one, if it does whatever the last one was, however good that one, the next one will have an amazing box office. If it's good, it stays. If it's not, it'll fall down.
Yeah,
But
this
the
one
box
too.
office for the beginning.
That was another everyone said that was a steaming pile. I never
On
watched
Stranger
that one. Yeah.
Tides. I don't even remember what this one was.
Wait, was that
Stranger
was that
Tides?
the one that had
I don't know, number
Zoe
fucking-
Saldana in
No,
it?
number 13. I don't know how many fucking movies they have. 2007. Yeah, who was?
Hey.
Everyone was over it at that time. It was the fourth one.
Fourth one.
Fourth one.
It was about
That was when he came back from death, or he was dead, and then he came back to life. And
That happened
mermaids,
twice, right?
Mermaids and the Fountain of Youth.
Right?
It was
Oh,
Mermaids
yeah,
and
yeah.
the
Oh,
Fountain of
that
Youth.
one. Yeah, I never watched that one.
I did once, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
All right, I need to move forward because I have to
this
pee
one
so bad.
too. Jesus Christ, man! That Dark of
Oh
the
my
Moon
god,
was
no! I
Dark of the Moon was terrible.
recently
Jesus.
watched Transformers. What was the new one? Transformers.
The Last Night.
Age of Extinct. No,
Age
your last
of
night.
Extinct-
No, the last
yeah.
night. Last night.
Oh my God, that's how many there's been. There's
Yes.
a new one.
after
Yep.
that.
Because
So bad. So bad.
I love the ride though.
Last Night
Bumblebee
was the
was
last
really
one
good.
that had Mark Wahlberg in it.
Yeah, and I
There,
really
because
both
there
did, right?
was
There was
two
two of
with
them.
Mark
Age,
Wahlberg.
Age
yeah.
of Extinction, then the Last Night.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I will say this: I think the Age of Extinction is worse than the Last Night.
I think so too.
But
Even if they
You know what
were
I think?
introducing Dinobots,
You know
still.
what I think? I think we got a Transformer.
good,
Okay.
good for you.
All right.
All right, we're
We
moving
got a
forward.
Transformer.
I have to pee so bad. We're going forward. So all right, I'm gonna just skip a few of these. So we didn't get to watch any of these trailers because I forgot that fucking part. You've already seen this though. Have you checked out the Aladdin trailer that dropped today?
Okay,
Doubt it.
I haven't seen the one that dropped today. I've just seen some of the little bits here
Go
and
pee.
there over the last couple of
pee?
weeks.
Go Pete.
Yeah.
Jeremy can talk enough for the three of us.
I haven't really seen much as far as trailer wise for this. I've just read a lot about like people were saying, "Oh, Will Smith looks weird blue." Well, I don't know because I haven't seen the fucking trailer. So,
Well, the first one was a teaser, and they show the actor playing Aladdin in the Cave of Wonders,
okay.
and he gets the lamp, and then the trailer shows no Will Smith until the very end. I mean that teaser.
Oh,
And then,
okay.
and then he comes out, he's blue, and he's like fat. It's like
Yeah,
it's
I
like kind of obvious.
I was
that
gonna
it's just
say,
his
yeah, he's
face.
fucking fat looking.
It's just his face on like a different person's body. But then, so from what I'm understanding is that is just kind of like his genie form, but he takes on like a human form where he looks like Will Smith.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Well, you know, like
Well,
in the
that's the
you know how
stupidest
like
thing.
in the cartoon he's like kind of he's like a floating kind of
Yeah,
thing.
a floating fat thing with no legs,
Right, but then he walks around like he kind of
but he's
takes a
still
different form
but
when
he's
walking
still
around.
from the waist up the same.
But he's still blue, yeah.
He's still blue, pot bellied,
Yeah,
shit like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
He
yeah,
just
yeah.
got his legs and the puffy pants and
Yeah,
stuff.
so at the end, so they I guess that's where he first meets him, but also I'm thinking maybe it's because he's in the new trailer we see him kind of blowing up this facade of being the all-almighty genie.
That is a good point. Yeah.
So maybe he's like kind of just coming back from.
Well,
pretending.
he did that in the cartoon, as
cartoon,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, where he was making himself big and
Yeah.
doing this until Aladdin tricked him out of
Space.
getting
Yeah.
until he tricked him out of getting him out of
Right,
there
right,
instead of okay. So that makes sense then.
Yeah. Yeah. So this new
look,
trailer.
Will Smith's a good actor. I mean, he's only had a few sucky ass movies. I mean, After Earth. Yeah, fucking Practically Twins here. We fucking knew exactly what the hell movie we're talking
that
about.
movie was
Fuck,
horseshit, yeah.
dude. That was that.
had so much
His
potential,
kid
too.
has barely made any movies, and it was the worst movie that kid will ever make, most likely.
Yeah.
Holy crap! I mean, there was just nothing about that made any sense that was
But also
followable.
and that movie, it's always hard when they take themselves so seriously. You know.
Another good point. Yes,
You know, like that.
Yeah.
That's what's tough. It's like I feel not that movie should have been a comedy, but it's like kind of if you nudge at the fact that we don't know what the fuck is going on. You know, maybe even
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Like go more of a not comical, but slightly
Wondrous.
more lighthearted, wondrous sci-fi with that edge of danger. kind of if they'd balanced it a little bit more like they did
maybe
with Oblivion, like Tom
I don't think I
Cruise.
saw that one.
Oh, Tom Cruise, Morgan Freeman. That one actually I can't remember that.
Shut the fuck up and let me do my job.
Perfect, Tom Cruise. Wait,
Either
actually-
way, Oblivion wasn't a bad movie.
Okay, that's
all.
That's a great. You should just play that every time before we go way off topic.
That's a good. I like that.
Everyone.
Shut your mouth.
So we're still on the Aladdin trailer.
Yes.
I'll say this. I
Well,
honestly,
I'm actually play it, and we'll just have to talk over it a little
fine.
bit.
Okay.
So pay attention to it.
I'm
Mostly
gonna
Jeremy.
piss while you do.
Okay, you've seen it though. Check this out, Jeremy. What are you poking me for? What?
No, I was gonna say I'll grab a beer in a second after the trailer's
Oh,
going.
yeah. I was like, the point of the trailer is for you to watch it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Check it out. And then also,
I'm liking what I'm seeing so far.
so yeah, definitely say stuff.
Definitely liking what I'm seeing. Like this is kind of reminding me of
Jasmine.
What, yeah. See, this is kind of where
She was
I'm
the
seeing
pink-
what
she was
happened in the actual
You stumbled
cartoon.
upon an opportunity.
All right, so I was gonna say she was Kimberly in Power
I
Rangers.
can make you rich.
Oh, you're shitting me.
And
You're right.
This
rich
is
enough to
Jafar.
impress a princess.
Yeah, I've been
Dang.
trying to.
What would I have to do?
There's a cave of wonders.
It's called the Cave of Wonders.
Bring me the lamp.
Oh boy,
It's a Cave of Wonders.
a
And
cave,
we
not
call
the
it-
cave.
And we call it the Cave of Wonders. And
The magic.
O great one who summons me, I stand by my oath, loyalty to wishes.
Okay, I like seeing Will Smith.
right,
This looks good.
carpet.
Okay,
Abu.
there's carpet. Nice.
Abu.
Abu or Abu?
Abu.
Abu. I'm liking
Can you
Abu.
make me a prince?
There is a lot of gray area in Make Me a
Oh, okay.
Prince.
So there's
I
the
can
more
just
human,
make you a
non-blue.
Oh, no.
Y'all see my palace? You
I'm
look
liking
like a
it.
prince on the outside.
It's not weird.
But I didn't change
Right?
anything
It's not as weird
on the
as I
inside.
thought it would be seeing him all blued up
I'm in
and
charge. Okay, I say when
with
it's time.
elfy looking ears and shit.
Look at this part.
Really?
I like it.
I thought a princess.
I
could
think
go
this will
anywhere.
make a good
Not this
movie.
princess. Do you trust me?
What the hell else has he been in? The guy playing Aladdin, because I recognize him.
We gotta check it out. I don't know.
Yeah, I gotta look it up.
That part, the falling into the water.
Yeah, like, and then that parade of animals and shit. Right, dude. Okay, I think they're gonna do a good job making from what I'm seeing
All right,
here.
pause. Wait. I don't know if there's more. No, there's not.
Oh, yeah.
All right. But no, that's what I'm saying. This
That
trailer
looks good. That really
massively
looks
changed
good.
the narrative of what so many people, including myself, were about. So the first teaser, I was like, all right, that didn't really do anything for me. Then the second one where they showed the genie, I'm like, what the fuck?
The production pictures were making things look kind of gross.
Yeah, it's too
weird.
It's too much. And then this trailer totally redeems itself.
Yeah.
Except for Jafar. I still don't like Jafar.
I haven't seen enough of Jafar to be able to tell you whether I like the actor or the character live action wise.
He looked like a bitch.
And I've never seen the stage performance, so
Yeah, no.
I don't
The
know
guy
shit
playing
about that.
Jafar looks like a little bitch. Like
Okay.
the littlest bitch, and not like a mustache twirling nefarious bitch. Just
Jeremy
like
Irons sort of a
Jeremy Irons
would make a great
Yeah,
Jafar.
no, it's Jafar looks. What do you think, Ryan? Now that you're back from peeing,
I kind of agree. No, actually, when I watched this trailer, it gave me the chills.
really?
Like, yeah.
Which part? Like, was there any part in particular that stood out?
I don't know. It's just like it really does have the same like wondrous effect as the as the cartoon, you know.
Yeah,
So
it does.
yeah,
It actually took beats.
yeah.
Because
we got the beat. Yeah.
It took beats from the actual cartoon version of it from Disney, especially where he comes out, he's like,
Do you trust me?
oh,
yeah.
that too, and like he's like this massive giant genie, and then comes down, he's like, I'm just kidding, I'm coming back. I'm back.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very reassuring.
Yeah.
And also, it definitely was one I was like, after I watched this trailer, I was like, oh,
No.
then yeah, I got to see this one.
Also,
before I was like, I don't care. I'm not gonna watch it. It's like whatever. It's gonna suck.
it all looks really good. You don't get the voice of Iago, but today, while we're recording this on Tuesday, is Alan Tudyk.
Who's Alan Tudyk?
He's the guy.
Steve the Pirate.
Yeah, Steve the Pirate from
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Wash from Serenity.
Serenity. Yeah. I love that guy.
He also voiced the robot from Rogue One.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah,
He was in the 13th Warrior.
Yeah, he's a character actor.
He's
that
in everything.
So many people know.
Fuck yeah!
As like his face and his voice, but not his name necessarily.
He was. He played. Oh God, the fucking one from Underworld, the vampire, the vampire brother from Underworld.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, in the first one.
Who'd he
Doesn't
play?
he die in the first one?
No, it's the second or third one that he's
Is
in.
he?
Yeah,
I'll
it's
look
like
it
the
up.
second or third one.
Speaking of Underworld, how about Pete Davidson with Kate Beckinsale?
Yeah, that's
Dude, that's weird. Oh, what the hell is that? It cracked. Anyway, that's weird. Holy shit.
There's an iRobot.
Oh, he was in Knight's
Oh,
Tale
yeah,
too.
Knight's
That's
Tale,
right.
that's right, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
right.
Wait, what? Oh, the cartoon. So he's in Harley Quinn the cartoon as the Joker. It's a new series on the new DC universe.
Oh, okay.
Streaming one. He's in Aladdin as Iago. He's in Doom Patrol as Mr. Nobody. That's another streaming service one. Star versus the Forces of Evil, which is a cartoon I've heard about. I've never seen it though. Young Justice plays numerous characters. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Dude, he's such a good voice actor. He was K250 in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Redneck 1.
Boom, boom, boom.
He was Redneck 1.
He played this.
Oh, that's right. Next to Matt. Wait, who he played next to?
Matt Damon.
That's true. The Tick. Jesus,
He
so
played
much
some-
stuff that you did not even know. He was Green Arrow in Injustice and a bunch of other ones.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
He played some weird, like funny character who was like a real badass ass beater German sounding guy in some fucking movie. I'm trying to remember.
He's also the fucking rooster in Moana.
He's the rooster in Moana.
He's
No shit.
That's hilarious.
That is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Damn, this guy's been in everything.
Dude. I can't
Fucking
even find-
Ginger's
what
getting
are-
around.
Who was he in Clarence? Oh, Flight Attendant.
Flight Attendant Dan. There's so many of these. What was I even looking for? He was in Frozen. He's in Arrested Development, Injustice as Green Arrow, and Atlantean. Just a random Atlantean librarian.
He's King Candy.
yeah,
Wow,
King
Wreck-It
Candy
Ralph.
and Wreck-It Ralph.
Basically doing the Mad Hatter.
Oh, he was in Abraham Lincoln
Bas-
Vampire Hunter. I remember him in that one.
What
Son
was
of
it?
a
I was looking for
bitch.
something. I don't remember what it was. He was Simon and Alvin and the Chipmunks. There's so many. So yeah, Alan Tudyk is just playing so many roles. I want to know how rich this guy is, in all honesty, because these are all big name roles. You don't know his name somehow,
Yeah, like
but you know all these.
yeah, fuck yeah, like all these different characters and shit. Like
That's crazy.
a lot of these voiceovers and stuff like that, I wouldn't have necessarily known it was him because he's so good at changing like his smart alecky sort of a character thing, and like that guy seriously, he can play all kinds of characters. It's amazing.
And now he's gonna play the bird.
I'll be damned.
But no, the trailer's great. Princess Jasmine, I've had a crush on her ever since I saw her in Power Rangers. But apparently she's married.
Wait, she's Kimberly?
She's Kimberly, and
Yeah.
she's married to the dude from fucking Step Brothers, the brother. What's his name? Forgot.
John C. Riley?
Something Scott. No, Adam Scott.
Oh, Adam
Scott. Yeah.
Right,
The
Adam Scott.
dickhead, that dickhead brother. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not a dick. He was in not the Office. Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like a dickhead in real life, but yeah, he was a dickhead.
Yeah,
in
in
Step Brothers. But
Oh, you see these abs?
that was
Oh, you want to punch me?
That was
Punch
so
me.
oil.
funny.
Yeah, oil.
The oil is like such an obvious cut.
Yeah.
Abs.
It's
haven't
not
had-
really the guy.
I hadn't had
Totally
a carb since 2004.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with my nut.
Yeah. but she's fucking like just gorgeous. And then she's doing a great job. It looks like in this scene, she doesn't have a lot of time to shine, at least as an actress. What I'm seeing. Yes. Also, please, what is this?
Sweet Orange Belgian.
Yeah.
Sweet Orange Belgian beer we're drinking.
But I'll be honest. In Aladdin in the animated version, Jasmine doesn't do much. But she does have a few badass moments.
Well, she marries a street rat.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that
Riff raff.
this version of Jasmine will also have, especially with Disney being so much more open to stronger female characters. You have to think that this Jasmine will definitely have a lot more impact on the story than Jasmine of the animated version, which still had a good strength to her. So. That was that. Moving forward, we have 2 trailers for properties that we are pretty unknown actually, but have premiered in South by Southwest. They are in the vein of younger people. So like this first one is 2 high school aged female characters in what looks like it is a rated R comedy. Check this out while also talking. We could also drink beer and talk about that while it plays.
Good morning, winner.
Good morning.
Take a deep breath. Visualize the mountain of your success and look down at everyone who's ever doubted you. Fuck those losers. Fuck them in their stupid fucking faces.
Yeah. Do it.
Oh,
right.
shit. Are we going to go to school or?
What's 2 plus 2?
Isn't it crazy that it's the last day of school? Are you kidding me, Samantha? Go talk to her. She's got a really cute smile. Amy, do you know how many girls are gonna be up your vagina next year? Every time I come to visit you, you're gonna be scissoring a different girl. Dude, scissoring is not a thing. Don't knock it until you've tried it. Don't knock it until you've tried it.
One looks like a lesbian, I guess.
The last day. We got you through high school.
I need to go over the end of the year budget numbers.
Can't we just graduate, head off to college? That should do it, right?
Oh, that's funny. He's in that.
I can't hear you. I can't soundproof glass.
And it's directed by Olivia Wilde.
What?
Yeah, go figure.
We are
His wife.
fun. We didn't party because
Is
we
it?
wanted to focus
Yeah.
on
Oh, we do.
Jason Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis'
and
wife.
it worked.
No
The
shit.
responsible people who partied also got into those colleges.
I'm incredible at
And I
hand
love
job.
that line too, where it's like we've worked our asses off. It's like, yeah, and we got into those really good colleges, which is like great. Which is like, but so many other people partied their asses off and still got into those colleges.
Yeah.
But I also got a 1560 on the
That's
Oh
a-
no, I like this line. So I'm
That's
gonna
an
rewind
interesting
real
segue.
quick. Right? I thought it was like a really good
So
line
got into those colleges.
because like, I mean, that was true. When I was like, wait, how did you do that?
To good colleges, and it worked. But the irresponsible people who partied also got into those colleges.
I'm incredible at hand jobs, but I also got a 1560 on the SATs.
We haven't done anything. We
Same.
haven't broken any rules. Name one person whose life was so much better because they broke a couple of rules. Picasso. He broke art rules. Rosa Parks. Name another
Susan B. Anthony.
one. Damn it. Hand sanitizer. Check. Chapstick. Check. Mace. Listen, it is very important that you keep the safety. Oh! Don't touch your eyes!
That reminds me of a time we maced a friend of mine.
Yeah, it happened.
What the fuck is this?
Me ask the questions!
Oh my god.
What can I say?
Well, this seems excessive. Shotgun. Just kidding.
Shotgun. Just kidding.
That looks
I don't
funny,
have
man.
one. Alright, so this is a trailer for Booksmart. Check it out.
Say we're having a date night.
Wow.
Right, it's funny your parents think we're boning.
What you two have is special.
We are going to show each other how much we care about each other. We'll probably just do
Wait.
a Korean face mask.
I don't need to know all the words.
That's good.
Yeah, so that looks fucking great. And this is the
Olivia Wilde?
directorial
Damn.
debut of Olivia Wilde. And
That's
it is
amazing.
with this teen rated R comedy. It looks really good, and I'm really into it. And I love this too because they're two very clearly very smart. They gotten straight A's their entire life. It seems like gotten into good colleges, and like the last week of school, they're like, well, what? Like all these other people are partying. They've been partying, and they're still in their same colleges. Why don't we just go out and party? And it's so cool because they're not doing it to be cool. They're just doing it because it's like, we've worked our asses off. Why not? and it looks like they got into some crazy shenanigans, and I'm down to watch that. So check out the trailer for Booksmart that just dropped. Now moving forward, something a little bit younger. I thought this was an interesting intro.
I didn't watch this trailer, but
you saw like a little thing.
I saw everyone talking about it today.
All right, let me see. Can I make this bigger?
Hey kids.
That's what she said. All right, go. We're doing this. Nope.
As you know, I am one of the producers on your movie Good Boys.
Seth
and
Rogen.
Unfortunately, I'm here with bad news. You guys cannot watch the trailer for your own movie.
What? Are you serious? Are you kidding?
It's just too messed up for kids your age. There's drugs, there's violence, there's swearing, and although we've decided it's okay for you to do these things in the movie,
that's okay.
You can't watch yourself do them in the trailer.
That's fucked up.
Oh, it is fucked up.
Yeah.
You can say that, but you can't watch yourself say that. Welcome to Hollywood.
Welcome to Hollywood.
No, right? Because this is the
That's
it's a rated R movie.
These weapons in my parents' closet. I think your
Look
parents
at
let
that.
me wear this for Halloween. A knobby?
Oh my god.
A Nalby?
Nunchucks, motherfucker.
He slapped himself with anal beads.
All right. Quiet. I really want to watch this.
Smell like shit. I'm having a party tomorrow. You in? Yeah. Can Thor and Lucas come? They're my best friends. We do everything together. You're so random. 2 weeks into 6th grade, I'm already a social piranha. Sippy cup. Sippy cup. Does this look like a sippy cup? No, it's a fucking juice box. Because I'm not a fucking child. You do not want to go to Soren's party not knowing how to kiss. We could spy on my neighbor. She's a total nymphomaniac.
Hey, Stranger Things, go fuck yourself!
This is what happens.
That is
when you don't
hilarious.
respect women.
I respect women. My mom's my best friend.
What about me? My dad's gonna kill me. Chill. This is how we get the drone back.
Picture this, I'm a bag of dicks.
You took my bag.
Don't get any closer.
Oh my god, there's Molly in there.
Okay, who's Molly? Because she's not with us.
Jesus Christ.
You had us bring drones to a fucking playground? We're 6th graders.
Oh my god.
I love that.
This is funny, dude.
Still gonna beer my butt.
So everyone knows that I'm cool.
What do you have in your pants?
My penis?
Pull it out.
I also have a big dick. You're not getting me straight. I'm fine. You're
Oh, hell.
Oh my god. I didn't notice that the first time I saw it.
Oh shit.
This is funny. Oh my god.
You let us run around with drugs, fight with frat guys, and lock a cop in a convenience store with what I know is big as a dildo. We're bad.
Oh
No
shit.
people kissing. I have an idea. Oh, how many husbands does she have? Nobody even kissed. Well, not on their mouths, at least.
Oh my
So
god.
that was the trailer for Good Boys.
Oh my
And
god.
we have two amazingly funny trailers for these two movies.
Oh my god.
Definitely go
dude.
check them out.
That is, I'm so happy for that. I'm
Right?
so happy that
they
it
both
exists
look
right
so
now.
good.
That looks like it's gonna be so much funnier than Superbad ever was.
Well, 'cause
Probably.
I mean, Superman.
I
is
love
great.
Superbad.
I love
Superbad's
yeah,
really good.
I love that movie.
But these are very
But the
different.
reason these movies are so fucking good is because like what we saw ourselves in. It's so much in Superbad.
Yeah,
But,
'cause,
like,
that's what it was meant to be. It's like guys that were at the last
were not
last
that
week
cool.
of their not that cool. That were in the last week of school. Like they're like high school. They're like,
Yeah.
all right, well, fuck it.
Party.
My favorite line is still, "What are you doing? It's the last week of school.
Fuck
Just
it.
drilling holes.
Just
Fuck
drilling
it.
holes. Fuck it. Yeah. Yeah.
And as a senior, you're like, Well,
And it
I've,
came out.
I've already gotten
that
into
movie
whatever
came out like our.
college-
They came out like our junior year, I think.
I've already gotten into whatever college I'm going into. I don't really need anyone's anything. Fuck it.
Yeah, and what was that?
Oh man.
Oh god, that was so good. That is like I'm like elementary school, like for like 100%. That's exactly
This
how.
is us in sixth grade.
This is us in 6th grade. Yeah, exactly. Dude.
Exactly.
That's so. Oh my god, that was
So
so
this
funny.
is so good. You have two very different stories, but similar as far as
so
like
good.
younger adolescent or younger people just going through some crazy shit. Check it out. Both look hilarious. And last but not least, I'm not ending it because Ryan has some stories still, but I will want to say this because this will probably trigger Ryan a little bit. So the Simpsons. So
Triggering Ryan's fun sometimes.
right? I agree.
He's got some good stories sometimes. Holy shit.
So there was recently a documentary on HBO called Leaving Neverland, and it is I haven't watched it, but I've heard so much about it, so many testimonials, everyone talking about it, and it's something that a lot of people are saying that is very condemning to Michael Jackson about his relationship with a lot of these young boys that he's been accused of sexual misconduct and shit like that. So the thing that I brought up was that The Simpsons is actually pulling the episode featuring Michael Jackson from circulation as well as syndication.
No
And
kidding.
Ryan being such a big Simpsons fan, I want to see, 1, how he felt about it, 2, if he's seen it, or 3, how he feels about this like entire situation as a whole.
It's one of mine and Biggie's favorite episodes.
I am going to have to say just before you continue,
go.
I think I'm going to have to agree with whatever you say on this because this is one of my favorite episodes ever.
It's a great episode.
I loved it.
You know what's more amazing about this episode is that technically Michael Jackson didn't do it.
That is true. This
Not
is true.
technically, but he was not credited because he said, "Don't tell anybody," right, or something. What was the story behind
He
that?
was under contract for some reason where he didn't want anybody to know that he was actually voiced. For some reason, he didn't want to be credited on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
So, and the licensing company said that they couldn't have Michael Jackson sing any of his actual songs.
Okay.
So he voiced the character, but had an impersonator do any sort of singing on the Simpsons episode.
Got it.
Hence why Lisa, It's Your Birthday didn't sound like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
But the voice of Michael Jackson sounded like Michael Jackson.
It did kind of sound like Michael Jackson.
No,
it fooled me for a long time. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it wasn't until I read about it that it wasn't actually him. Yeah, it was same thing. Yeah.
You were almost inaudible. Yes.
Yeah.
That being said, I doubt it because I feel like I know the answer. But have either of you seen the documentary or heard anything about it? Really?
I have not.
No.
I have not, and I kind of don't really want to.
Same here.
Why?
I feel the same way.
Because it is horrible. It is terrible.
What is horrible? Just so.
Well, what Michael Jackson has obviously done.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not like the R. Kelly thing where you're learning more about it. Everybody's known about the Michael Jackson thing since the 90s.
And this is something
shit,
that I'm just like, why has nobody brought this up? Because I mean, it did happen more so when we were young. Obviously, like so he was with Macaulay Culkin as a kid. We're younger than Macaulay Culkin, so like all of this stuff basically seemingly he did before we even understood what any of this was. And so growing up, we're like, when we look at stuff that he was accused of, I'm like, yeah, that sounds horrible. Why did nobody do anything?
Mm-hmm.
It's something that you just don't think about. And it's kind of something that a lot of people are bringing up is, why is everyone turning a blind eye to this guy? Granted, he's dead now. But in the entire time that he was alive, and so many people apparently knew about or heard about, nobody said anything, really.
Yeah, and it's the same thing like with, one of my major protests like with the Catholic Church especially is because is all because of that stuff too.
Which also I think I read a story today that somebody's getting
a cardinal is being actually one of the first to be prosecuted.
I think he actually got
6 years.
Yeah, convicted.
Yeah, read about it. Convicted. One of the first to be convicted. Yeah. I mean, normally they just transfer them and stuff.
You go away now. Come back.
What?
I was like, you go away now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just send them to a different church or whatever. But I don't know. And like the whole Michael Jackson thing, like I don't know. It's not that I didn't know about all this shit already. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that I don't want it to go. It's not like I want it to go away. But it's like, I mean, I don't feel like a documentary is gonna make me feel any better about it. And like, I mean, like, do I really need to know all the?
Oh, it's definitely not gonna make you feel better.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do I really need to know?
I don't know.
Do I really need to know all the gruesome details?
And it's not going to give you many more new details than you've already known anyway.
No, what I've heard
So-
is it's actual testimonials and actual things that
See,
once
that-
you
see,
once
that just
basically
makes me
once you
sad.
hear
Yeah.
That just makes me really sad.
Once you hear, there's almost no way you could say that's fake. It's like, yeah,
well, the
that
the
sounds
testimony from
fucking
Wade,
real.
Wade, I can't remember his last name.
Well, multiple
Wade
people.
something or other. The guy from So You Think You Could Dance, and
I don't know these people.
he's a famous choreographer,
Yeah, I
Wade
know.
something
Yeah.
or other. And I've heard his story, read his story a few times, and yeah, you're right. It's hard to not believe it because. Anyway, I've been in. I've had certain shit that's happened to me in my past and shit like that, and I gotta tell you, some of the shit that he's attested to doesn't sound very far fetched.
No,
the way he's
exactly.
describing it in
And
any way, shape, or form, being somebody who's been in certain situations that are very similar. So, I gotta tell you.
And what I think that this documentary does more so than anything is to bring out, like, show people, don't just bury these things, because it's like,
Yeah.
this is something that we should know about, not because we need to just, like, understand that the world's a shitty place. We already understand the world's a shitty place, but we need to see what's happening when or before it happens. Otherwise, there's nothing we can do about it. Because right now, he's dead. He is gone. He essentially got off.
Yeah.
No pun intended. No pun intended. Yeah. But you get it. And so that's the thing. Is just like so many people are afraid to come forward about.
It's just, I mean, like, where's the just? You know, there's not going to be any justice.
There will be no justice.
Yeah. The only justice would be public opinion justice, and that's.
I mean, I mean, by taking down a Simpsons episode isn't doing anything.
No, but it's what they could do, and I will actually commend.
I don't think so.
whoever's decision it was.
Why?
What? Because you think that they should just wait until there's a backlash telling them to bring it down? Because you know that it's coming. What I said in the beginning, where the world is starting to hate Michael Jackson,
But
is
so
because so many people haven't seen this yet.
But here's the thing. It's because this show is still popular that this is making headlines. Like,
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
wouldn't make a big fucking deal if, like, I mean, Michael Jackson's made appearances on everything.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do? We're gonna pull
Every little thing, yeah.
everything he's ever done ever.
Not everything, but these
I mean,
shows.
even like
Pepsi will never sell another Pepsi.
That's what I'm saying.
God damn.
No, but this is pulling it from circulation and syndication.
I mean, that means
It's reruns.
fucking, you know, every
So it basically what
every
it's,
sitcom who ever used ABC, easy one like Jackson
No.
5 shit is never gonna be able to use that ever again.
PYT is
what- yeah. Come on,
misogynistic
dude,
all of a
PYT, come on,
sudden
dude.
and shit like that. Yeah.
what
I'm
I'm
kidding
saying,
me? We're never gonna hear Thriller again around Halloween.
Yeah.
Just suck my dick. Of course we are.
I heard it the other day, and that was the weirdest thing. It's like after reading all this stuff and the article coming out, I went to karaoke.
Doesn't matter.
And somebody did Thriller.
The dude
Nice.
is dead and he can't defend
Nice.
himself. And like
No.
everyone's gonna like be up in arms and say boycott all this shit. It's gonna be back. No one's gonna, dude. They'll sneak
No,
the Simpsons episode back in about 4 years. No one's
And
gonna
it was
fucking
such
notice.
a good
I
fucking
guarantee you
episode
not.
anyway.
Not them.
I don't believe that.
I believe. They
I mean,
will
I
bring
can't
back.
even believe they took out the Twin Towers episode, which is one of the greatest episodes.
Yeah,
of all
like
time.
Which one's that one?
How?
When Homer when Barney was
Yeah.
Barney's the DD for the night, and he takes Homer's car and he winds up in New York, and so Homer has to go get his car, and it's
because it's got a boot and shit
it's got
on
a boot,
it.
and it's parked between the Twin Towers.
Yeah,
and so they pulled that episode just because of
that's
the location.
That's the one where he's eating the fucking thing, the kebabs or whatever from a fucking cart, and the guy says he's got kraukalash, and the only thing he has to drink is Mountain Dew or crab juice. And Homer and he goes, ooh, yeah, give me the crab juice, because he didn't want the Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I remember that part.
Then he has to pee, and he goes up the first tower, and they're like, "Oh, the bathroom's in the second tower," and then he has to go all the way down and go to the second tower.
Gets more tickets. Yeah,
I remember that. All right, but no, that's what I'm saying.
I can't believe they took that one off, because that's stupid.
Staying down. For sure.
Damn.
I think that there's a lot more public backlash to come because of the fact that I don't think a lot of people have already seen this yet.
All right. Well, I gotta get going. So.
All right. Well, it's your turn.
Okay.
Cool. So we'll do this.
Yo, what's up? This is Ryan D. Freestyle here on IG. Rhyme so fat they make you sick. I'll steal your chick and then suck your.
Oh no! Oh no!
Behold the secrets of nature's deepest mystery.
She's literally like launching eggs out of her pussy. The poo-poo guy. So they just like tie up these dudes and fart in their face. Now, maybe cut off his dick. This is gonna blow your fucking mind. Are you ready?
I like beer. I like beer.
He found that from like an old Instagram that I did, like trying to be funny. It's still pretty funny. That happened literally happened like 6 years ago, I think.
Dude, that part about the poo poo eat the poo poo guy.
Oh yeah.
I've seen that fucking that whole stupid
video,
UN video
You know that
thing
guy-
a couple of times. That's so crazy.
We ended up doing a follow up. That guy got arrested in Uganda.
Okay, good.
Because he had a backup a hard drive of nothing but hardcore gay porn.
No, that's why. Oh shit!
Because he was trying to educate people about it, but he had like that much gay porn, like hardcore gay porn.
No,
and so he was like under investigation because he was downloading so much gay porn.
Isn't that
hilarious?
Fucking hilarious! Awesome.
All right, where was I at? What am I doing?
Gay porn?
Gay porn. Where do you want to start, guys? What do you want to start with?
The tip.
Actually, I sent you a link. Did you
R.
bring it up?
Kelly.
Yeah, bring up that. Let's start with R. Kelly, guys.
R. Kelly.
It's a good segue, I think. So R. Kelly, we talked about. We know what he's been up to, right?
What?
We know what he's been up to. He's been trapped in the closet, guys.
Me, I'm fighting for my
Hold on.
life.
Stop. Hold on. Okay. Stop.
Okay.
All right.
Do we have more beer?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm at here. Okay. Yeah.
More lemon.
Do you have more pineapple? Do you have more pineapple? That was my favorite.
Might not.
If not, anything.
Okay. So.
Nope. Lemon.
All right, lemon it is. Wait, is there? Yeah.
This was the one I was.
Bottle?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, go yeah.
What the fuck? Okay. So the latest thing with R. Kelly right now is that police scramble to go to one of the victims' houses because they believe that this girl has started a suicide pact. That this girl has started a suicide pact with multiple other girls.
Okay.
That R. Kelly has slept with.
Holy shit!
So that's like the latest. That's the latest controversy right now. But he also did this. He also did this. He also did the CNN interview that everyone is making fun of, and it's like you want some people, they want you to feel sorry for him, but it's like really hard to feel, or he wants you to feel sorry for him, but it's like it's very obvious.
Well, because I've seen these, so yeah.
And like he stands up and he cries and he has like, and like even what's the woman's name that's interviewing him? What's her name? You know who I'm talking about. You know, I just know who I'm talking about. I'm so buzzed right now.
Good. You need more because you're not driving. So
it's true. But anyway, so now they've made all these like stupid. What is that? The same beer?
Yeah.
Don't mix and match on me, bro. Are you serious? You promise it's the same one?
Yeah.
What was that?
The same beer.
Dude, why did you do that to me? Why didn't you just let me finish that? You fucking cock.
What are you drinking?
It wasn't the same beer.
You don't even know what you were drinking.
You just mixed the. What was I drinking? It wasn't that one. I know that for sure.
I think it was actually, wasn't it? Yeah.
No.
It wasn't the lemon hazy.
Fucked up so bad. Come on.
No, I'm saying I don't know.
Oh, I don't. He doesn't
I,
know.
said, I didn't say no. I said
I
I
don't
don't know.
You just
You missed the ow.
All right, keep going.
I'm pleading the fifth on this.
Anyway, fuck, man, I don't know. He did the CNN interview, which was, I guess, was supposed to be like his attempt to, redeem himself or whatever. Did we talk about him?
No, we didn't get to talk about it because I don't know what it was. Like we just didn't get to talking about him.
Did we talk about? Did I show you the clip of him trying to get people from Ethiopia back to his pad? Did we watch that video?
We talked about it. I don't remember seeing it though. Yeah, maybe like a little bit.
We didn't watch the video of him on stage going like, "Did you get your passport?"
Oh yeah, no, you played it like I think an audio clip or something. I didn't remember.
You don't remember that?
A little bit. It was.
Oh, okay.
I remember. You did. You played it.
Okay, so anyway, last I read, there was multiple tapes of him with underage women that have emerged, and the last I heard, there was one more that had emerged over the weekend, and then he did the CNN interview like sometime last week, and it's now become an internet sensation. Everyone's just turned it into. And you know what was funny was one of my comic friends posted he posted the minute it happened, and he was crying on camera.
Yeah,
Gail King,
huh?
Gail King on CNN, was that the
Gail? Yes.
Okay, Gail. Yeah, it was the Gail King episode interview.
Yeah. So the minute they showed it, and they had that screenshot of him crying, like close up. my buddy, fucking dude. One of my buddies, he screen grabbed it and posted it, and he was like, "Michael Jordan's so happy right now." because Michael Jordan for the longest time was the crying face man.
That is great. Oh, that is so funny. Oh, that's so funny.
And so these memes have emerged because of this. So play a few of these. This is because of a Gail interview.
All right, so the first one is a little girl. It looks like.
Did you hit play?
Yeah, I'm pausing it.
Okay.
Do you think
Fuck you, really?
You mean R. Kelly want to meet me?
I didn't even read that.
Oh yeah.
Not me. I'm fighting for my life.
when you're all fighting.
No,
wait.
When you're fighting a whole team and your teammates on the other side of the map looting. Playing games, and then like I would say Ryan likes to drop at a random place, and he's like, "Where you guys at?" I'm like, "We're landing where we said we're landing."
That's a Fortnite reference right there.
Respawning.
Yeah.
And then, bye. Are you taking this guy?
Guess not. Okay.
All right. Cool. Bye.
Did he just stand up?
I think
he did.
This is
in the middle of the interview.
Wait, go back.
Yeah,
this is what's fucked up. This is what's fucked up.
Hey guys,
like,
we do have a little bit more pineapple.
Oh,
okay.
Yes, boom.
Okay, good.
Put it back in the. Well, I was gonna say put it in the fridge.
Well, she's kind of mad that we're super long, but
okay. Should I save this for her then? You
What?
could take
No,
this
no.
for her.
No, I don't.
Okay.
All right.
No.
Going forward.
Should have said that in the live thing. Shit.
Damn it.
I'm fighting for my life.
He's fighting for his life, bro.
Yo, killing me with this.
It's so much funnier
Every
when I'm
time he
drunk.
punches his fist. Oh my god, he punches his fist.
This is my
Oh.
Me, I'm fighting for my life. Yo, killing me with this. I didn't do that.
And then me watching R. Kelly's meltdown. This little dog just like his bug eyes.
Stuff. This is not me, Robert.
Oh, the look on this dog's face.
What is this?
R. Kelly
Okay,
just
just
a
new predator charge.
R. Kelly, I'm not gonna play with you this time. The world wanna know, do you fuck them underage girls?
I sit here and say this. I had 2 cases back then.
Okay, motherfucker. You know this. Was pissing on little girls and videotaping it. And apparently, oh shit, excuse me, I'm sorry. Apparently, you still doing it.
You can't double jeopardy me like that. You can't. It's not fair.
Why the fuck not?
I beat my case.
So for the people that think you're innocent, what you gotta say to them?
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
Guilty. My bad. I got allergies. So what's going on now?
Fight for my.
No, I recorded that tape way back. So, why is it just not surfacing like everybody talking about it? Even you seen it. Why are y'all all in my business like this?
Why?
Even you, Big James? What? This cameraman recorded me.
No, the fuck I didn't.
No, the fuck I didn't. He's like, no, the fuck I didn't. Oh shit! Oh shit! This is amazing because okay, they're dubbing over the interview. So
way back. So why is it just not surfacing like everybody talking about it? Even you seen it. Why are y'all all in my business like this? Even you, Big James? What? This cameraman recorded me. No, fuck I didn't. That's you, bitch. You directed all my scenes.
Oh my God. It looks perfect. It's like,
hey man, if you want to,
that's
you can come
perfect
and film
dubbing.
these 2 condom scenes. I'm gonna have 2 midgets in the bed with me, so it might seem like the little bitches in middle school. Oh, why he got these?
This is like
teenage
one of
girls,
those
he must be a
bad
monster.
voice reading,
No, bitch,
lip
they wanted
reading.
to come and do the robot in my basement, and they seen the hostage bitches everybody talking about. Next thing I know, I seen the news out in the street filming my uncle. Dumb bitch, always playing.
oh my goodness! Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay.
There's too much. This is too much. There's too much. There's like 9 minutes.
God,
of
we
this.
can watch these all night.
Yeah.
That is better than some of the Japanese or Chinese dubbed movies in English and shit like that. The way it matches up is so much better. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we should just wait. Oh yeah, we were gonna talk about the fucking. See, I'm fucking drunk, dude.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, your girl just abandoned you. Just fucking chill here. Well, you can spend the night.
Jeez, just throw me on blast and the whole.
Well,
fucking...
she left. We just said goodbye to her on air.
God damn. But thank you.
I would have kept that to myself, but you know.
That's not. We literally, it just happened right now on it while we're live.
Yeah, I was live.
Yeah,
so.
I was like that's not. Yeah, keep going.
There wasn't a couple of I'm sorry's too, so.
Yeah, maybe to you.
Maybe from me.
I like beer. I like beer.
That's
I had to.
said that.
Shit.
That's why we're here.
This got super awkward now.
Well,
here we go. All right. So we talked about earlier. We were talking about certain actresses who spent money and bribed teachers and coaches to get some of their kids into college. Actually, I'm going to start because you seem to know a lot about this, Jeremy. So
I do. Actually.
So let's hear. Let me let you tell
help me help you.
Set the stage.
Set it up because I actually need some time to look at the articles that I was going to bring up. Yeah.
So basically what happened was apparently 2 of the biggest names that have been reported on this entire fucking whole bribery scheme to get into these big colleges, Yale, Georgetown, I mean some of the biggest freaking most expensive schools ever. Apparently 2 of the biggest names of rich people that have been named, and we're not just talking about what is it? Fucking former President Barack Obama's tennis fucking teacher, his daughter's tennis teacher, or some shit like that. That was part of it, and a shit ton of other people. There's like 50 people total. But two of the biggest names, Felicity Huffman, the wife, actress and wife of fucking Macy. William H. Macy. And then Lori, what the hell is it? Leflam? Whatever. Anyway, she was fucking
Aunt Becky
on Full House. Apparently, they've both been indicted in bribery scams to get their kids into Ivy League type schools, big schools. Specifically, the Lori, the actress who played Aunt Becky. Thank you. I keep forgetting that. I really do keep forgetting that. I fucking never keep that straight. Apparently, her daughter last year was getting blasted on Twitter because she was saying how she doesn't care about school and shit like that, even though she's privileged and rich and she goes to USC. And it turns out now that her mother was actually part of this huge bribery fucking thing that was uncovered most recently. I can't remember. I think it's the FBI that actually started this. They called it Operation Varsity Blues and shit. And they found that her and Hoffman...
He's got all the facts.
Actually were part of bribing a coach. I think his name was Spencer or Spinner or something like that. It started with a S, Spiner or something. Anyway,
Spinner?
I know, right? It does. Yeah. Where he had created this fucking backdoor way. He created some kind of like a non-profit or some shit like that. Rick Singer, Singer. I was trying to remember. It's the same as the director Bryan Singer, but he's not related to Bryan Singer at all.
That we know.
Disclaimer: we don't know that he's in any way related to Bryan Singer. Just his last name is Singer.
Maybe.
But apparently he created this whole fucking this whole side door thing through a nonprofit charity or some shit like that, where he was actually taking bribes to get these rich people's kids into these affluent schools, USC, Georgetown, Yale, etc. And what happened was this guy collected and also fucking distributed somewhere around $25 million fucking dollars over the last 6 or 7 years. I mean, seriously, in such a short amount of time to get all these rich people's kids who didn't earn their way into these fucking schools, which of course bumps other people who have academically worked so hard to get into these schools, bump them out, and they couldn't get into these schools.
Right.
And these are affluent schools, and the only people being charged right now are Singer and the 40-something or other people who have parents and other personalities. We're talking like singers and famous athletes and producers, etc., that have been bribing their kids to go to these schools, and they're the only ones that are being charged right now. The actual administrators of the schools who were involved.
Oh, so only people who are bribing are the ones who are charged.
Maybe there was like 9 coaches that were part of it that were
that's part
involved.
Of the investigation. Still, they're still.
Well, they've actually found that. You're correct.
Yeah.
But they've actually found that evidence-wise.
Yeah.
That a lot of these
that was such a bizarre word.
Evidentiary.
I don't know that's a word.
No, it's.
I think it'd just be evident.
No, it's evidentiary. It's something similar to evidentiary, something like that. It's a.
Look it up.
It's a term I learned during jury duty.
You're fucking right.
Evidentiary.
I've never heard that before.
But apparently, evidentiary wise.
There's another term for that.
there is
Evidential.
Evidential. Yeah, there you go. Okay, that actually works better, I think, in this context. But basically, it ends up being
that one I wouldn't have questioned you on.
But you know, hey, you learned a new word, evidentiary.
Yeah, but I'm gonna sound like a fucking idiot when I say
evidentiary. Oh, so half drunk, half drunk when you're saying it.
Yeah.
Either way, long story short, they found
tons of words that people call me on. My
and how many of those must be real though?
I never look them up beforehand, but like that's not a real word. Like probably not. I made it up.
Yeah. Well, either way, this is a huge thing, and there's a lot of people
Humpcast,
involved.
Learn different words.
Sometimes I make up words that I
Vocabulary.
think are words. Like that,
You're welcome.
But they sound good,
or I'll
right?
say a word and I'll say it completely wrong, and I'm like, that's not right. I'm like, somebody look that up. Like,
yeah.
Like,
and how many times have you found out? Wow, that actually is a word. Okay,
I mean,
there
actually,
you go.
a few
Not
times,
often.
A couple times. Yeah, it's more than. Yeah, it's less than. It's more or less. It's more me making shit up and then realizing it. And then when it is a word, I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to say.
I like it when.
But you were at the same time though.
I was.
You
right.
were close.
Yeah, or I was close. Yeah,
exactly. It might have been an IANT instead of an OUS. Or something like that.
Yeah, or sometimes I'll be saying a word completely wrong because like it sounds exactly like the word I'm trying to say.
You're pronouncing it phonetically. There you go.
Phonetically.
How are you fucking drunk?
I'm hammered right now.
I feel so goddamn sober right now. It's weird.
Garrett
Good for you.
Garrett's hammered too.
I am.
Are you?
Yeah, that's why he's being so quiet.
I'm not saying I feel completely sober. I'm
How
just
many
saying
beers
maybe
did we
it's
just drink.
a lot.
A lot of them.
That was my answer, so I must not be completely sober.
That was a lot.
It was. Anyway, the bribery thing, it's huge. There's a lot of people that aren't actually...
you should tell this story.
There aren't actually a lot of people,
read about
especially administrators.
Let him tell the story.
Administrators.
You fucking cocksucker. I can't believe you poured... He mixed beers with me, but luckily they're your beers, so they're like actually mixed well together.
And they taste... Well, you got... Okay, technically you got orange and lemon mix.
That's not a bad mix at all.
And yeah,
it's horrible.
And it's orange... It's the orange
good.
Belgian with the lemon IPA,
right.
so you're definitely get...
That's right.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I haven't done it. Yeah.
I want that mix. Because that's one thing.
The smell is fucking
one thing
crazy.
that-
Like there's
that
like a little orange Belgian stuff.
Purists hate it, but as somebody that's
I love mixing beers.
I want to try. I love it because I'm like, this would taste good with that.
Just because you love doing mixing cocktails.
No, you just
sorry,
you
what?
never know.
Just because you love to mixing cocktails.
I'm sorry, what?
He said
Just
you like
because you
cock.
Shut your mouth.
Just because you love you mixing cocktails.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And let
you
me
know
do
what?
my job.
Thank
You know what? He kind of did something all right there.
Yeah. Fuck
It-
you, Ryan.
No, I said kind of. Jeez. Kind of.
Look at him trying to suck his own dick.
Just the tip.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good.
So,
Anyway, so
all right.
okay, so
So what
they're
happened?
bribing-
So basically, what happened is there's these two major actresses that are in deep trouble. They are going to be indicted. It looks like because what they were doing was clear bribery, etc. Now, here's the and of course their kids are going to hear a lot of it, especially Lori Loughlin. I fucking remembered her name, Lori Loughlin.
Boom,
I remembered her name. Hey. All right, but Lori Loughlin's daughter, Jade, whatever the fucking stupid...
Jade, she's got a weird name.
Whatever. Fucking stupid Jade something or other.
Yeah.
You know what? She's already getting a bunch of bullshit, and you know what? She deserves it, because last year she fucking... she was sitting there doing that whole shit talking about, I don't really care about school. I mean, I know I'm going to a good school, USC, but I just want to party and blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so
It's like, read it, seriously.
Dude, so
seriously, you guys, read what her fucking quotes were.
It's a real cunt move.
Yeah,
And
she's such a fucking douchebag, dumb shit kid.
Cunt.
And then it
Cunt
turns
is the
out
right
her,
word.
and that cunt. And then her fucking mother, it turns out, bribed and fucking cheated her way into USC when there are so many people, DACA students, fucking regular
Fucking MAGA
students.
students.
Fucking MAGA students, you name it. There are so I know, right? But anyway,
I'm kidding.
no,
They're not-
I knew what he meant
I'm
when he
just
said
kidding. They're
MAGA.
not smart enough to get into a USC.
Shut your mouth.
But all jokes aside, there's so many kids who, like, all she would have had to do is take her stupid rich ass her mom, and write a fucking $400,000 check, buy a fucking library, like you were saying earlier, and I've seen several people comment. And then boom,
that's what they used
there
to do.
you go.
That's
the legal way to do it.
That's the legal way of doing it.
It's underhanded, but it's legal. But this is completely
donate something.
Exactly.
You donate something, or you give the school a gift, and it basically gives your kids a spot into the.
And now you've got. Exactly.
That's a good one.
Because now you got these
that's
fucking.
New. That's a new one.
So now so now not only has her bullshit, like bribing these people, now her kid, who's a fucking spoiled brat kid, fucking bullshit, whatever, is now she gets to get the backlash of it because she's a fucking stupid spoiled bitch anyway.
Yeah.
And look, normally I wouldn't sit there calling somebody a spoiled bitch if I didn't know him and shit. But guess what? When you make make the kind of comments that you did about going to a fucking $100,000 school,
dude, her mom only spent $250,000 to get her into that college. Okay.
Go fuck yourself.
Well,
and then God knows
I guess that's not that much, right?
Actually, in all honesty, I'll be honest.
There's a lot of people that need to go down for this, though.
None of us
there is a lot.
Oh
my God!
I'm happy.
There's like between 7 and 9 coaches, and none of them have been named so far. They need to go because they were faking they were faking photographs to get these people into
they were faking transcripts
school
and documents.
But no, they were taking pictures of like professional stock photos of professional athletes and doing these really shitty hack jobs of fucking putting these kids' faces and shit like that onto the
photoshopping them?
Yes, they were photoshopping these fucking pictures, but they weren't good. But they were getting away with it because nobody was checking.
Right.
It's crazy bigger than
it's like
what has been reported so far.
It's so far the colleges I've read are Harvard, Brown, and USC.
Yep,
have been like
Georgetown was one that I read about.
Harvard. People are
and Yale. Yale was another one. Yeah.
I like Yale. I have a Yale sweatshirt. What t-shirt?
How much did that cost you?
$80? That makes you like a Yale?
Yeah. Wait, you said you bought it at what, Ross?
I didn't buy it. It was a gift. So it was an inside joke with and Britt Dizzle. We had an inside joke, and she bought me a Yale shirt. I was like, oh, so cute. But I, to this day, still wear that shirt.
That's so good.
He wore it and put it on our graduation forms. You were supposed to write what college you were going to.
Was it?
Yes, it was graduation.
Was it Yale?
Yes, you put Yale.
I did
because
that's so funny.
I'm going to Yale. Yeah. No, but because so here's
Orange County.
So yeah, I know. Thank you for getting that reference. I love you. So for our we had practice for our graduation, of course.
Talking about practice.
Yeah. And so during the practice, they went down each and every aisle and asked, "What school are you going to after this?" And everyone would write down what it was. I put down Yale. The lady looked at it, and I've never met this woman in my life. It was some random administration person, and
I thought it was Miss Hunter.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
so this is a royal, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I put down Yale, and she looked at it, and she's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yes."
I love the look on your face.
Oh, and that was the look. Kid you not. 5 seconds later, she's like, "Okay." And she moved on.
Yeah, she had no idea.
No,
wow.
She's never met me. I've never met her.
And she probably doesn't understand that Yale's like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm
sure she's heard of it. Like for me, even I'm like,
somebody from El Monte, right?
I mean, yeah, but like I've heard of Yale. But if like some kid was like, I'm going to Yale, I'm like, wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
Like that's as far as my investigation goes.
Unless you don't really feel like your student is Wait, really? You? No way.
Which
Hang
is
on.
why.
But I wouldn't. But they would know. There was no way they would know who the fuck he was. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
exactly. That's why. That's
And he
so
looks half
fucking
Chinese, so it makes sense.
Well,
Racist.
there is
I
that.
get it.
Yeah. You,
So
What'd you call me?
you
Did
good at
did-
math.
Did you just call me a lacist?
He called you a racist.
no, I said I called you a racist.
He called you a
Did
racist.
he say lacist?
He said
He
racist.
said- that's-
You are racist.
I like how you're more. I'm offended. Don't call me a fucking racist. No, I was like, all right,
You
somewhat
fucking Jew.
Somewhat
I have to tell you, my shoes
Don't call me a lacist.
are
you
Velcro. There's no way I'm a racist because they're Velcro.
Yeah. So that happened.
Oh, Jesus.
Then literally went 2 to 3 days of practice.
Yep.
Like
Wow.
And so after that point, what they did was they would call everyone's name up in the practice for your graduation to come up on the stage and receive your diploma, or your fake diploma rather. And so they would say like, Ryan Demarest, whatever school you would go to, and they would say, come on up, and then he would come on up, get his
Maybe list your achievements or something.
Well, yeah, something like that, exactly. And you would get chords, and your chords listed your achievements too, like all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so for like 2 days, they were like, Garrett Lee, Yale University, blah, 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 blah.
No shit.
Kid you not. And this was, okay, so our thing was, we didn't have an auditorium that could fit that many people, so we did it in the football stadium. It was completely uncovered. The sun was out. So what a lot of
The
people...
auditorium wasn't at Arroyo wasn't big enough?
No.
How big was,
It was a
how,
big- it was a
how big was the
big
crowd?
class. It was
Like
a
the entire
big-
class? Was it the entire senior class or?
Yeah, it was huge.
Oh, okay. Because I went to Arroyo, so
Yeah,
I
no,
know how
but
big the
it would
auditorium is
not
and shit.
fit these people.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's so big.
All right.
So we were in the football
Now,
stadium.
that makes sense.
Which was uncovered. So during the practices, we would all wear different hats usually. I wore a sombrero because I had one. I obviously.
What was he wearing?
Did you wear a hat to practice ever? Like a
Your graduation practice.
No, I thought I was way cooler in like middle school, so I wore a top hat in middle school.
yeah, I never did the top hat. But I did have a sombrero, like I said. I had a
You
sombrero.
wore a sombrero on your graduation?
for graduation. You didn't see me?
I don't fucking remember. I was hammered probably.
You
like
guys
the
are
whole
in
day.
the same class. You don't remember?
No, I was drunk since we. I mean, I did not want to be there.
No,
like
that's
I
true.
was not gonna. I would, dude.
At this point,
if
we were all checked out.
If I had it my way, I would not have graduated. I would not have been to the fucking ceremony. I just would have had my diploma and been like, "Fuck you, meet you in the parking lot. Goodbye, everybody."
I'll meet you in the parking lot.
That's
Like,
so funny.
I hated it.
I never.
was over it. I was so checked out. I was like, "Why the fuck do I still have to
makes
be here?
sense.
I'm done. We're done."
No, why are you alive?
That makes sense.
Demon.
Oh, I hated it so much. I had
Goddamn
I had some other shit going on, some other dramatic shit going on around that time. But anyway,
Kill it. Thank
but
you.
I remember that was the funniest thing because I remember you. Yeah, they're like
I missed
Yale. They call you up.
Garrett Lee.
They go Garrett
Yale
Lee, University, and we all start cracking up, and we're like, "This mother!" All because he got that sweatshirt. Like, had nothing to do with anything else but the reason.
And you guys all knew that it had
Yes,
nothing.
yes. All because he got that. And it was like, he probably didn't even know what Yale specialized in. Like, who went to Yale for the, like, you know, was it, I think that's like, what is it? Like, people go through to be lawyers and shit, you know?
Yeah. Yale Law. Stanford Law.
So he got,
What I'm saying, I did
he
that.
just wore
Georgetown
he wore that
Law.
and then he wore that
That's
sweatshirt.
where Obama went to
And
school,
then he
was
wore
Georgetown, I
that sweatshirt,
think.
and then he wore that sweatshirt every fucking day for rehearsal. So that dumb motherfuckers would be like, "Hey, don't forget about
That's
us."
so funny.
Hey,
No,
don't-
that was
hey,
the best part.
Hey, don't
I didn't
forget
even say that
about
part.
us.
I didn't say that part. So after that, kids like my classmates would come to me like, "Hey, bro, don't forget about us here in Omani when you're over there."
No shit.
Yeah, for
but
real.
No
the
shit.
Best part.
Fuck.
Teachers said the same thing.
That is so crazy.
Like,
And so
I'm
wait,
so
wait.
proud
I
of
thought,
you.
Okay.
I thought you
Teacher-
got.
teacher
I
said-
thought you
I
got
would
judged.
love
yeah.
to know what
Teacher said-
teachers.
teacher
Okay,
said-
okay. Here's
Teacher said,
where
"I'm
we're
so
ending the
proud of
podcast. Here's where we're ending the podcast, right?
And then eventually, literally a couple days before the actual graduation, my English teacher, and she was strict. She was the one that everyone was about. Her
Which
name-
English teacher? What was her name?
Miss Hunter, and she's the one. She's actually chimed in. on
If
the
you
show
went to Arroyo, you
a few times.
would know.
Yeah.
for sure.
I went to
and
Arroyo,
she-
but I
she-
don't remember Miss Hunter. I don't think
Everyone
I had.
remembers
I don't.
Miss Hunter.
I don't think I had her. What class was she? Like,
was
what does she
always senior
teach?
English. Always senior
Always.
English.
She didn't do anything
Son of
besides
a
that. Senior and
bitch.
AP English.
I don't know if she taught me during senior English then, because
My senior English
I
teacher.
loved English class, and I fucked with my English teacher.
You guys want to know about my my senior English teacher?
I just don't remember her
He's
name.
now a
Shit.
woman.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Like, for real?
Yeah.
Ooh.
We're friends on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I know this person because I don't remember this.
Holy shit.
Strange times.
Yeah. Hey,
Strange times.
hey, the strangest thing I ever found out was that my 5th grade teacher, Mr. Conway, apparently got in trouble because he was letting 5th grade girls give him neck massages.
You're going to say blowjob.
And I found out that apparently
Neck massages is code for
af-
blowjob.
after I stopped
beer.
after
I like beer.
and then after I was going to Arroyo, apparently at the time she was my guidance counselor, Mrs. Buchanan at Arroyo High School, was apparently fucking Mr. White, who was the principal of Arroyo High
teachers.
School.
That's teachers.
I will say this. I just recently
Dude,
saw this.
I don't know how true it was. That's just what I ended up finding out later.
Everyone time out. Everyone time out. Everyone time out. Everyone time the fuck out. Okay. Let me go first. Okay, because I always get I get the least words in.
Now,
in
I was
this-
at least
on this
10
podcast.
years ahead, so...
I've gotten the least words in on this podcast. This episode specifically.
No, he's right. He's right. Are you going to fart?
Got something to say about it? No, just kidding.
Okay.
I
thought you was going to fart.
All
or
I was going to say was Arroyo has a reputation for kid fucking.
That is so true. It is so true, and
Dude,
I don't
we
know why
have-
I'm laughing.
No, it is
Oh, it is true, though.
On both sexes.
Yep.
But never
Yes.
us. Why not us?
And
Why
not
not
my...
us?
No.
This is Gonzalez.
And not me.
I was- no, yeah, right.
Not me
I was like-
either. Like, holy shit.
So the
Like,
year before
what
we
the
were
fuck was
freshmen,
wrong with
the
1996? You weren't into fucking
Hang
the
on.
students in
year bef-
1996?
The year,
Hang on,
the
hang
year
on, hang
before we were freshmen, one of the hottest female teachers.
No, that was the year after. Man, we were
before.
sophomores.
No, it was before. I remember. I was an avid freshman year.
Oh, that was the hot,
And that
the
was
hot, the
that
hot
was
Hispanic girl.
that was her best friend, and they're like, she just got caught fucking some random. And we saw a picture of the student. He's ugly,
Asian.
Ugly Asian kid. I'm like, why
Jesus.
not me? Why not me?
Yeah, you're an ugly Asian
Here's the
kid.
here's the funny thing about it.
Exactly.
Like, okay, you see these different stories, and of course, you know, like it's horrible. Like even the females on the male,
Yeah, one of
like,
the English
fucking
teachers
the
was fucking my
underage
girlfriend.
male.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's for real.
Good night, everybody. Holy
All
shit.
right. Okay.
I mean, if you want, that's a good place to end it.
That would be a crazy.
Yeah.
You're shitting me.
I'm not.
Not at
Dude,
all.
Arroyo High School.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy place of bullshit.
No, yeah, I
Fucking
remember this. You do want to tell the story at all or anything else?
I'm okay. Did enough
Yeah,
scarring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not kidding.
No, I'm joking.
No, he
I'll
was,
tell the story. It's not.
he
Like,
wasn't joking about it. Happened.
No. I figured that is.
And everyone knew.
And-
Everyone knew, but me.
No shit.
And he got after he got fired. I saw him as a
Cheesecake
waiter,
Factory.
As a waiter at Cheesecake Factory.
No shit.
I was like,
Did you fuck with him? Tell
this
me
is
you
awkward.
fucked with
No,
him.
because he wasn't my waiter. He wasn't mine.
Oh, okay.
But we were there for, I believe, one of my.
I'd love to go there, like find the place where he's working, and then just start randomly out in the open, very loudly, start talking about Arroyo High School.
right.
How amazing would that be?
No,
Yeah,
so
I
what
don't
it
know.
was is that we were
Even
there.
even if
Well,
I'm
here's the
10
weird- here's
even
the
if
weird
I'm
thing.
even if I was 10 years ahead of you guys, there was still that same shit going on. Like I said, Buchanan, Mrs. Buchanan or whatever, and Professor White. And then there was a couple of other teachers. That just rumors. I barely remember.
Okay, check this out though. Garrett and I both worked at that mall.
Yeah.
That he was working at.
Yep.
Which mall was that? Was that the
Santa Anita.
I used to work at
And
that
I
mall.
literally,
I
like-
used to work at that mall at Express.
And he was working the Cheesecake Factory. Garrett and I both worked there. And I was like, how is this? This
Wait.
won't leave me alone.
at Cheesecake Factory.
No. In the mall.
Oh, in the mall.
In the
Okay.
mall, but at
Okay.
Cheesecake. He worked at
He worked
Cheesecake
at the
Factory.
Cheesecake Factory in the mall.
And we were both 18, fresh out of high school.
Yeah.
And so this shit was haunting me.
Fuck.
It really was, because it wasn't like he went away or like he got fired. Yeah, for sure. But I still had the had the burn of what happened to me, and then I realized, and then I find out he's working at the same fucking mall I'm working at.
Holy shit!
We're like 18, 19, and I'm like, holy shit.
What was he, like 38?
He was like 20, our age, the way we are now. No, he was like 26, 27.
Yeah, he was
No
literally our age now.
shit.
So he was a very and here's the thing.
Okay.
That's what it is. A lot of these teachers are very brand new. Not all of them, because there's another science teacher.
That's why I worry about Justine.
What did he teach?
Yeah,
Wait,
right?
what did he teach?
No, we're not going there. We're not going there.
Ryan, what did he teach?
English.
English. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind then.
Mostly
Never
tongue.
mind.
Hey.
Apparently.
From what I hear, I wasn't very good at it.
Yeah.
That was a good joke. That was a good joke.
That
right?
was a good
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
That was good. Not bad.
But no, yeah. So
Especially considering the
it's just so weird that it was
Jesus.
there.
But here's the thing: it was 10 years ago, so it's like it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt me anymore. But good
10
God.
years would still hurt me. That would be 20 years for me. So I'm like, okay.
It was 10 years ago, but like,
fuck.
What was fucked up? Like the thing that I think about more now is like why no one told me. Like I was in like everyone knew.
Yeah, no shit.
Everyone knew, and no one told me.
That's a good point. Yeah. What the fuck?
I will say this: he went on a double date with one of our
friends.
Best friends.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that.
And
double
date.
Double.
And they like.
And
they went
how
to his
old
apartment.
was your friend?
We were all the same
We're all
age.
the same age. And I didn't know. He didn't know.
Oh,
but they all did.
Yeah.
Fuck, you guys had a crazier class than I did. Where the hell was... Why...
Okay.
Damn, you guys had a crazier class than I did.
We could do a 3-hour
and we had
podcast.
some funny
we could do a
shit.
4-hour podcast on just how fucking nutty that whole year was.
High school. High school. There you go.
If we had just told stories, we could... and beer?
Stories and beer.
Sure. Stories and beer. That's kind of what our show is.
Yeah, it should just be called Stories
At least
and Beer.
every time
Stories
I've
and
come
beer.
on. Yeah.
Oh, you guys want to hear what happened when I fucking forgot to talk about this.
What?
Let me tell you what happened. I was supposed to do the Dudes Brewing Company. I was supposed to do their podcast this
Oh,
weekend.
by the way, the Dudes is the motherfuckers that share the name California IPA with my jalapeno IPA beer.
Okay, you guys should fight about
They're
it.
the
Do it. I'll back you up, bro.
They've got more money, but the thing
I know
is,
my fists.
I've got the name that's older than them.
Well,
they
they got the name, but we got the number. Perfect.
Boom.
Flawless victory.
So the dude, you were saying the Dudes brew. That was flawless victory.
Is anybody even watching at this point?
No. But I think I
They
broke-
will.
Did I break
They
this?
will.
I broke
They
this.
will.
How did I break this?
You broke it. Oh man.
Okay,
No,
the
I-
Dudes
I-
brewing.
I was supposed to.
You were
so
supposed to work.
I was supposed to do the podcast, the live podcast. My buddy Brian McDaniel. Shout out Brian McDaniel.
They do a live podcast thing?
They produce a podcast that
Okay.
my buddy Brian, who's a comic, hosts.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So, but it's like a dudes podcast, dude sponsored. The Dudes Brewing Company it's like the Dudes Brewing Company's podcast, but my buddy Brian is the host.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, gotta work. It's working. It's working. I just want to make
So
sure.
Brian
Good.
invites me. So the dudes are doing this. They're doing this pre St. Patrick's Day party, and it's called St. Practice Day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's last Saturday, and then he invites me to
Sounds
come.
funny.
And they're doing a live podcast at the event. He asked me to come. He's like, "You're really good with people, like working up a crowd." And he's like, "I seen you on Humpcast, and I done Humpcast." He's like, "So, I think it'd be cool if you came down." He's like, "It's supposed to be a PG-13 style." He's like, "He's like, but I think you can handle it." I was like, "Oh yeah, that sounds." I was like, and I was like legitimately excited. Like I was like, "Oh my god, this sounds great! I'm so fucking like, thank you, man. Like I'm really happy to be a part of this thing." And then he
it's gotta get you.
And then he sends me the event page, and I don't click on it. I should have. Yeah. So I've only been to the Dude's Brewing Company one time. So I drive to Torrance, which is where I think it is.
I don't know where they are. So.
They have 6 locations.
Oh, God.
So
okay.
So I drive to Torrance because that's the only one I've ever been to. And he didn't tell me anything differently. So, and I didn't click the actual fucking event page.
Yeah.
And it turns out I was supposed to be in Valencia.
Oh shit.
Which is an hour and a half the opposite direction.
Yeah.
The wrong
Holy
direction.
shit.
Yeah, so I didn't make it. I was really bummed out about it.
Wait, when was that?
This past Saturday.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I was texting him. I texted him. I was like, "Hey, so I don't know how to read," and I was like, "And I'm at Torrance, and no one's here." And he's like, "Fuck."
That's because you're supposed to be in Valencia.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was his response, was just fuck. And I was like, yeah, man.
Bitch, what the fuck?
And he goes,
Oh
well,
my God.
and then he goes, well, shit. And I'm like, don't worry about it. It's my fault. I'm sorry. Whatever. And then he was nice about it, though, because Vicky and I ended up having a pretty good date that day, because we ended up just hanging out. We went to Monkish.
Yeah.
We went to Monkish. We went to.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
the.
so we had a few beers at different places. We took the dog out, and it was nice. But I wasn't supposed to be in that area anyway, and it really fucked with me for up until that point. Up until I realized we're having fun. But I was like.
You felt like you really fucked up. Like
I had
you
to,
forgot to take.
that part in Dumb and Dumber where Harry's sitting by himself staring at the desert.
Oh yeah,
that was me.
Oh shit. I totally get it.
Yeah,
I totally get it. That
fucking idiot.
does make sense though.
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time though, it was an innocent mistake.
Oh, absolutely. No, because if you say the Dude, I think Torrance.
Right? Hold up, let me finish this.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm
don't
not
wanna mix
gonna
beers.
pull. I'm not gonna
don't
pull
wanna
a
mix
mix
beers.
on
Shut
ya.
up, you fucking violator.
Fuck you.
Violator. I love that. Finish that. Finish it.
Is this the same?
No, that's. Finish it.
All right, fucking wrap this
The
up,
beer.
man.
Finish the beer.
You were going to do that. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I want to thank everybody for watching and listening. And right now, we're really drunk. And I want to thank our guests out here.
Hey, wait.
So what they
what's
really
up? This
said
is
was,
Ryan
thank
Dude.
you for
Freestyle here on
tuning
IG.
in. We've been drinking a lot of really good beer. It's called Pineapple Jalapeno Hazy IPA that we're finishing on. And yeah, it looks
what's up?
like
This is Ryan
Ryan's
D.
got his finger plugging a hole.
Yo, what's up? This is Ryan D.
He's got a
Freestyle
bigger
here on
finger
IG.
plugging a bigger
Rhyme
hole
so-
now.
There you go. All right. Here we go, everybody. I want to say, can they find you anywhere, Jeremy?
Yeah, you can
Instagram.
find me Brewer from the Crypt at Instagram, or just Jeremy Northwood at Facebook. And I got some new brews coming up. I'm also going to be trying my hand at a couple of different, I guess you could call them malt liquors. Malt liquor? Yeah. Lick those malts. Anyway, malt liquors.
Liquors.
But I will
Malt
be doing a couple of updates
you
and
could
shit
live
like
better than
that for some of my newest projects I'll be doing in the next month or two. So yeah, Instagram, Brewer from the Crypt, and Facebook, just Jeremy Northwood.
Yep. And, of course, you can follow everyone here, all of us at Humpcast everywhere. Myself at Garrett_AM_Lee and at Twitter and Instagram. And Ryan D, you can follow him. Ryan D. Somewhere.
Ryan. We've got some fingers.
If you don't follow us, you can
go fuck yourself.
Go to teamryanD.com. Go to Humpcast. And follow Humpcast. Hey bitches, how about you go see us at the Workaholics house? That's a cool fucking
Saturday.
That is a cool thing to do.
March 16th.
Saturday.
My birthday is next week.
Saturday.
The 28th.
And then I gave her some.
I can't believe it went 3 hours this time.
Lick that 16.
Pretty good. Lick it. Lick it
Lick
good.
it. Be there.
Kiss
All
my
right.
pussy.
All right.
10, 9, 8, 7.